All right, everybody, just getting the live streams going. All right, everybody, welcome to the live stream. We're going to go in a few minutes here, getting everything up and running. All right, excellent. Looks like we're live. We're streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. We're going to get started in a couple minutes here. But in the meantime, say hi in the chat. Hit that like button. Let's get some more people into this live stream. We usually go for about 3 hours. We have lots of scam awareness details to share with you this evening. And hey, it's more important than ever right now. We're in the middle of scam season, so you need to be aware of these scams. November, December, it's scam season, baby. So get some people into this live stream and let's spread some awareness, folks. Let's help some people not get scammed this holiday season. Cool. See John in the chat. Good to see you. Awesome. Thank you for the YouTube jewels. Appreciate it. Very cool. Again, we're streaming live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Just say hi. Let me know you're watching. I'll do my best to reply. I'm trying to monitor all the chats, but I might be a little slow replying to everybody. But say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Hit that like button. Let's get this live stream shared out there. Now's a good time to invite your friends and family. Get your loved ones in here. Help protect them from scams. Get started in 2 minutes here. Get started in 2 minutes. Thank you, was it the I Don't Know Girl? Thank you for those jewels too. Appreciate it. And welcome to the live stream. I don't recognize the handle, but good to see you. Dave, welcome. I recognize that handle. How you doing, Dave? Always good to see you. Driving but listening. Appreciate it, man. Always appreciate it. Stay safe out there driving. We're going to start in about 2 minutes here. So hit that like button. Let's get this live stream shared. We're streaming live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you for more of the jewels. What is it? The IDK Girl C3E. Cool. Get started in 1 minute here. 1 minute, we get started. Could drop some scam-aware knowledge on you all. Show you some examples of scams so you can protect yourself, protect your loved ones. Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Hit that like button. Get started in a few seconds here. Username's all good. Are you... I don't recognize it though. Your first time here, or We'll get started in a little bit here. All right, I got some people. This is good. Got a few different chats going. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Good to see everybody in the live stream. Excellent. All right, 5:50. We're going to get started. Oh, cool. Your first time here. Well, thanks for joining the live stream. Always glad to see new people here. And let me know what you think. For sure. We're going to go over a lot of scam awareness details. We're going to share a bunch of scam examples for you. And hey, it's 5:50, so let's get started. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. And our mission over here at Scamware 1 is to spread awareness about scams that target individuals like you, me, your friends, family, loved ones, right? Because we're being targeted all day by scams, whether it's through email, phone, text message, even in traditional postal mail. The scammers are still sending out scams. So it's extremely important to be aware of these scams. And another reason it's so important to be aware is because these scammers, they want to take your life savings. They want to take your retirement funds. They want to take everything that you have. We're not talking about these, they scam you out $100 or $1,000 even. We're talking your life savings. They want to get into your bank accounts. They want to take everything. They want to scam your parents. They don't care if you're a veteran. They don't care if you're disabled. They will take everything you have. It's pretty ruthless. And once they do, it's extremely hard to recover those funds. Sadly, most victims never recover their funds. Sometimes they get lucky. Sometimes they'll get some back, but it's very rare. Most victims, they never recover the funds. So you put all that together, and people are literally losing their life savings and not being able to get it back, right? So awareness is how you stop this, right? Being aware of these scams, being able to spot them and recognize a scam is how you stop the scam from happening, right? It's how you really protect your money. Because once you realize it, if you realize it after the fact, it's too late, right? A lot of times there's no second chances. So here at Scamware 101, we create videos warning about scams. We have a social media presence. We're trying to spread awareness of scams. And we do this live stream every week, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern time. We do this live stream. It's free for everybody to come watch and join. And we're going to go over a bunch of different scam examples. Right? We're going to go over 20 different scams this evening. At least 20 different scams we're going to go over. Right? We're going to go over red flags to help you identify and prevent the scams. All right? And we're going to show you real examples of each of these. Because, you could tell someone all the time, you can tell them don't click on a link or don't trust, someone that calls you over the phone, right? You can give that advice. But really, seeing the examples, showing people what scams are actually being targeted with is much more effective, right? Because a lot of times, these victims, they don't realize how far scammers will go. These scammers are impersonating the police department. We're going to show you those scams in a little bit, right? They're impersonating government agencies like the IRS and Social Security, right? So the scammers, there's no limit to how far they'll go. But anyway, so thank you for joining this live stream. We're going to be going for the next few hours. So again, plenty of time to invite some friends in, hit this like button. And also, I encourage everybody who's watching, participate in the chat. We have the agenda over here. You can see on the screen. I have a kind of agenda that I try to get through with the list of scams and red flags and what we're doing. But this is flexible. Right. The point of these live streams is I try to be interactive. I try to answer questions. I want to hear your stories. Right. If you're being targeted with scams, let me know in the chat. We'll share your experience with the other viewers. And really, it takes a community to spread awareness about this stuff. So we're all in it together. But anyway, again, thank you for joining. And that's the intro. I appreciate you all. You can join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. We have an email list here. And we send out reminders when we're going live, and we'll send you some useful scam awareness tips. It's free to join. So it's around scamaware101.com. You hit join mailing list. And you can also see links to all our social media profiles here. We're on YouTube, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Threads, and Instagram. So you can follow us on whichever ones you prefer. And also, hey, if you want to help out financially too, we'll take a couple bucks. We have memberships enabled over on YouTube. And we also have super thanks enabled on YouTube as well. So you can send us some super thanks through YouTube. And we also have donations set up on our site. So you can donate directly at scamaware101.com/donate. And we have the link at the bottom of our screen. And finally, before we jump into these examples, one last thing here. We also have some merch too. So if you want to help support the mission, we have some scam awareness coffee mugs, mouse pads, stickers, and the products that we have on our shop, they're designed to keep on your desk. I picked all the items that you can keep on your desk, kind of as a reminder, don't fall for those scams, right? So they make great stocking stuffers, gifts for the holidays, and they help support a good cause too. We got some water bottles on there, it's coffee mugs, so they're great for that family member that keeps on getting scammed. Give them that coffee mug that says Scamware 101 on it. They have it on their desk, and it's a constant reminder, don't fall for these scams. And here you can see our online store too. You can check out if you want. It's on our YouTube channel, and also we have the link to it on our website. So, enough of my talking. That's my quick 5-minute intro. Let's jump into some common scams to be aware of that are targeting individuals just like you, just like me. And it's important to be aware of them. Again, we're in the middle of scam season right now. right? November and December is scam season. And a few of the scams that we're going to go over this evening, they always pick up during the holidays, and I'll point those ones out to you because it's especially important to be aware of them. There's a lot of fake road toll scams. There's a lot of fake traffic ticket scams. And now with the holidays coming up, with people traveling, it's important to be aware of these scams because the scammers know holiday travel is up, so more people are likely to fall for these scams saying, oh, you missed a toll booth or you missed paying a toll, right? So people fall for these scams and they're holiday scams. So it's scam season, important to be aware of. Anyway, again, hit that like button if you haven't. Let's get some more people in here. We're going to jump into some scams to be aware of, and we're going to go in for a few hours tonight. So definitely invite some people in here, hit that like button, participate in the chat. I appreciate you all, and I want to hear your stories too. So let's jump into it. First scam we're going to talk about this evening, Social Security impersonation scams. Right? And it's basically a form of government impersonation because, like I was saying earlier, scammers do impersonate government agencies. And in the case of Social Security, there's always changes happening and talk in the media about what's happening with Social Security or what adjustments were made this year. And there's always confusion over Social Security. And scammers prey on that type of confusion. Right? They know people are confused about this stuff. So when they see these topics like Social Security starting to get like media coverage or being mentioned, the scammers, they pick up these scams. They start shooting out these Social Security scams. And these Social Security impersonation scams, they'll target you over the phone, right? These scammers, they'll call you up over the phone. They'll say they're with Social Security, right? They'll send you an email claiming to be from Social Security. So you have to have your guard up regardless of the communication method that they use. Right. But basically, Social Security impersonation scams. The scammers impersonate Social Security officials and claim there are problems with the victim's number or benefits. That's a common narrative, they'll say. They'll call up a victim. They'll say, I'm with Social Security. There's a problem with your upcoming payment, or your check. There's a problem with your billing information or your deposit information. Right. And they'll try to get details from the victim. Right. We need you to verify your bank account details. We need you to verify your Social Security number. Right, but they're really getting all this private information that they can use for identity theft from the victim. They'll threaten action a lot of times. Right, they'll say they'll threaten action unless immediate payment is received. Right, they'll try to trick victims into making a payment to them, saying that their previous Social Security payment wasn't made or that they owe money. Right, and it can be a scary situation when someone thinks the government is reaching out to them about owing money. Right, so important to be aware of Social Security impersonation scams, whether it's a phone call or an email. And the example I'm going to share with you right now is an email version of a Social Security scam that's actively circulating now. Right? And this first version of this first example is how the email looks on your mobile device. Because sadly, on mobile devices, it's a little harder to tell when a scam email is. Right? On a computer, it's a little bit easier, and I'll show you that too. But here's how this email would look when it's delivered on your device, right? For the from, you just see Department of, so it looks semi-official, right? And then you read it and it says, get your new information now. To see your statement, please download the file from this link, www.ssa.gov, and then it has the rest of the link there. We hope you find your new statement useful and informative. Thank you for using the Social Security Administration's services. All right, so this is an impersonation scam. They're impersonating Social Security, and the email is claiming that you have a new statement available for Social Security, right? But if you click that link, it's a scam. It's going to take you to a fake website that tries to steal your information or install malware on your device. All right, so so again, this example on the screen, this is showing how the email would look on your mobile device. But if you look at it on a computer, you can see a little bit more details here. All right, so it's the same email, just viewed on a computer. All right, so right off the bat, you can see the email address isn't from Social Security. It's actually some foreign email address. I believe it's Kenya. It's a safaricom.co.ke, which I think is a Kenyan email address. All right. And then the link, if you move the mouse over the link, that looks like it points to ssa.gov. When you hover the mouse over it, you can actually see it points to a completely different website. The website is just a mix of letters and numbers. Right, so you can tell the link's fake. It's actually going to direct you somewhere completely different. All right, so this email is actively circulating. This example was reported to us earlier in the year, back in February. But when we check the AARP scam tracker map, there's still many reports, recent reports, like within the past week, of this same email circulating, claiming to be from Social Security and claiming you have a statement to download. So very important to be aware of this scam that's circulating, especially to older folks out there. You know, younger folks are probably like Social Security, whatever, I don't really deal with it much. But the older folks out there, definitely important to be aware of this one. Let your loved ones know, you know, that if they're, you know, dealing with Social Security, it's important to be aware of this scam. Anybody claiming to be from a government agency, it's important to do your research. It's important to verify. And what I mean by verify is, in this case, right, you get this email, don't click the links, don't trust the link, right? What you could do is go directly to the Social Security website. You can check through there, or reach out to Social Security directly if you think that this is even legit. But be aware that if you receive this specific email, you know, rest assured it's definitely a scam. If you receive certain variations, be suspicious, right? So don't fall for it. Social Security, impersonation scams. Again, just because we showed you an email example, still be aware that they're calling over the phone as well. So important to be aware of this one. It's extremely active right now. Probably picks up more during the end and beginning of the year, right? Because I think that's when changes and stuff start going into effect with Social Security. So it's a time of year too. And let me know in the chat if you actually got targeted with that scam. You know, multiple people reported that one to me. We know it's circulating. So there you go. That's scam number one, Social Security impersonation scams. Be aware of them. Always need to verify. How y'all doing out there? Let me know in the chat you're watching. The IDK girl, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. Always helps getting the subscribers. Definitely helps. Anybody else just joining? Welcome to the live stream. Let me know you're watching in the chat. Say hi, leave a comment. Do my best to answer and reply to you here. I'm mostly monitoring the YouTube one, so I'll reply the quickest in the YouTube chat. All right, everybody, let's go to our next scam here. So staying on the theme of government impersonation scams, all right, let's talk about IRS impersonation scams. These always pick up during tax season, but they're still circulating all year round. So it's important to be aware of these, right? And these IRS impersonation scams, similar to Social Security, we know that these scammers, they're targeting victims over the phone. They're targeting through text message. They're trying many different ways to target new victims. So again, you have to keep the guard up. And basically, these fraudsters, they impersonate tax authorities, claiming the victim owes taxes and must pay immediately to avoid penalties or arrest. Right? So that's one approach they take. They reach out to the victim. They say, you owe taxes. You got to pay now. They'll threaten them. They might even threaten them with arrest. Right? These scammers, they try to scare you, so you react, right, without thinking. So that's one method they use, is reaching out, claiming you owe money, right, and that you got to pay it. But another tactic that they use, though, is they claim that you need to update your information. They'll claim that you're entitled to a refund or a tax credit or deposit, right? And they'll say they need you to confirm your bank account details. But that's actually what they're doing is they're just stealing your bank account details so they could use it for fraud or steal your money. And the example, we actually have a couple examples of these IRS impersonation scams. And again, you have to keep your guard up on the phone, emails, text messages. But the scams I'm going to show you here are text message versions of this scam. And this text message right here was actually warned from the IRS. It was a warning from the IRS this year. They actually shared this example of a scam that's circulating, a scam text message. And it says, Internal Revenue Service, you are eligible to receive a $1,400 economic impact payment. Please provide your accurate personal information. We'll deposit the amount into your bank account or mail a paper check within 1 to 2 business days. But it has a link to a fake website. Right? And if you click that link, it's going to steal whatever information you provide. Also, notice how the scammers put irs.gov in the name of the website. Right? So a lot of times they'll do that to try and make it look more legit, but then it continues to be .subsidy-ion.com, so it's not really irs.gov. But you can see how they try to use that trick to make you think it is. Also, notice this little instruction at the bottom of the text where it says, please reply with yes, then exit and reopen. That's a red flag. When you see that on a text message, be suspicious, because a lot of scammers, they include that on their scam text messages. So again, this is an example of a IRS impersonation scam. This text message was circulating this year. This example came directly from the IRS warning us about it. And if you get a text message claiming you're eligible to receive a $1,400 economic impact payment, it is a scam. Do not fall for it. The IRS has confirmed there is no $1,400 economic impact payment. And if there was, they wouldn't be sending text messages about it, right? So keep that in mind, and also keep that in mind as tax season starts approaching, early next year. Also, in regards to these IRS impersonation scams, we have another example of a text message, and this one was recently shared by Colorado, the state of Colorado. I believe the governor warned about this one, but it's very similar to the IRS impersonation one we just looked at. The text message impersonates the Colorado Department of Revenue, and it says your refund request has been processed and approved. Please provide accurate payment information by October 22nd. See, this is a recent example. This one was literally floating around last month. And then it has a link to a fake website. And again, the idea is they want to steal your banking details and whatever funds you have in the bank too, if they can. So be suspicious about any text messages you get claiming to be from the IRS or Department of Revenue, Treasury. Scammers are actively targeting people with these scams. Also, notice this red flag here on this example. It came from a 6.3 country code. So it came from outside the U.S. as well. So that's also a red flag. And you'll see on their example, there's that same instruction, reply yes, and reopen the message. So watch out for that red flag, and don't fall for these scams if you get them. And something to keep in mind, just because this says Colorado Department of Revenue, I guarantee you there's different versions of this floating around for every state. They just pop the other state's name in and they start targeting people with that text. So just because this one targets Colorado, there's versions of this are around for every state. When you see them for one, you know that they're going around for others. So be aware of this one. Don't fall for it. Just like every other scam that we're going to talk about this evening, don't trust links. Don't trust contact details that are provided. You have to verify through official channels, right? Every concern is real. So that's the second scam that we're talking about this evening. Let me know if you were targeted by any of those IRS impersonation scams, Social Security impersonation scams. If you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. Hit that like button, say hi in the chat, in the comments, let me know you're watching. We do this live stream every week to help spread awareness about common scams that target individuals, just like you, me, your friends, and loved ones. It's important to know about these scams so you can protect yourself from them. And also, if you're just joining, again, you join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. We'll send you some scam awareness tips and reminders when we're going live. It's free to join. Scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. Now, this next scam we're going to talk about here, staying on the theme of taxes in the IRS, is tax forgiveness scams. And this is when fraudsters impersonate accountants offering tax forgiveness services, but they fail to provide the service, or they're just trying to steal your personal details, your financial information and details. And this type of scam, we're seeing a lot of phone calls circulating with this type of scam. And I have a few examples of those phone calls I'm going to play for you right now. But before I do, the key takeaway to remember is if you're getting random phone calls telling you that you're entitled to some kind of tax forgiveness, right? Instead of just trusting these random phone calls, they use shady tactics, which we're going to discuss in a minute. If you think that maybe there's some legitimacy to what you're hearing or what this call says, reach out to your accountant. Reach out to an actual accountant. Don't trust these robocalls that are circulating about tax forgiveness. And one example of those robocalls I'm going to play for you right now. And it's also a good example of how scammers using AI to sound much more realistic these days. Right? There's no accent. It sounds very realistic, like it's a real person calling you directly. Right? So let me play one of these tax forgiveness scam phone calls for you.
Hi, this is Lindsay Carter from the Activation Department. Give me a call back at 833-850-2527. Our records indicate you have some back taxes owed. You're now eligible to apply for them to be forgiven with the Zero Tax Balance Program. Any back owed taxes can be enrolled to be forgiven through this program. But we do need to sign up this week. Just give me a call so we can start the process. It's really quick. And I'll keep your file open here. So my number is 833-850-2527. If you've already resolved this, call back and press 2 to be removed. Can't wait to speak with you. 2.
So that's one example of a tax forgiveness scam phone call that's been circulating. I received that actual phone call. Multiple other people received that phone call and reported it to me. And it's important to be aware of that one, because these tax forgiveness scams, what they're going to do is they're trying to reach out to you, and they're going to try to access your funds. They're going to ask your details, right? Your banking details, your financial details. At the very least, they're going to use your private information to do some kind of identity theft. So be aware of these tax forgiveness scams. And that recording I just played for you, notice how realistic it sounded. It sounded like a real woman on the other end, not like robotic, not very robotic at all. And it sounded much higher quality than you used to be able to get, right? And the thing to recognize about that call is it's a recording, right? It starts off, it's the first thing it says, you owe back taxes. So right off the bat, it's trying to scare anybody who answers that phone. It doesn't know if you owe back taxes or not. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but they don't know. They're just opening the phone call that way to scare you. They want to create some kind of fear and eventually leading up to urgency. They say, but you got to reach out to us this week. You got to call us back this week, right? So they try to scare you, then they try to force some urgency. All right, and she also said, I have your file on my desk, right? But it's a recording. It's not real. There's no file on any desk, right? So it's a scam. They're using all these shady tactics that indicate it's a scam. And why would you do business or even trust someone using these shady tactics, right? So don't trust it. I have another example of a robocall tax forgiveness scam. And this one's pretty funny. This one I think got it about a month or two ago. And what's funny about this one is the recording, right? Because it is a recording. It asks questions, and then it pauses and waits for you to give answers like it's somebody actually on the other end listening, right? So the whole purpose of this phone call is to trick you, to make you think you're talking to a real person, that you're answering their questions, and they hit you with a recorded pitch, right? But let me play that example for you. And again, something to keep in mind is you'll hear me answer the phone, you'll hear me say hello, right? But then when you ask questions, you don't hear me respond at all, right? And that's on purpose. So when you don't hear any response, that's on purpose, right? And you'll hear that the person on the recording on your end still keeps on going, whether I respond or not. But anyway, let's take a listen to this one. Tax forgiveness scams. Be aware of these. Hello?
Hello. I can hear you now. My name is Anthony. I'm actually one of the assistants to the director for the National Tax Relief Program. How you doing? Great. So listen, I've personally been tasked with reaching out to make sure you received information about a brand new federally approved program designed to help people who may be dealing with tax debt. It's called the Tax Dismissal Program. It's something that's helped thousands of people reduce or sometimes even completely eliminate what they owe to the IRS. Can I ask you, do you currently owe any back taxes at the moment? Okay. Do you have any unfiled tax years or any unpaid back balances? Okay, great. Let me get you this updated information. You're just going to hear a brief recording. Okay, so this special program...
I'm going to stop it there. But see how that scam phone call worked? It's trying to fool you into thinking you're talking to a real person. It's asking short yes or no questions with a quick pause, right? And then it goes into a recording. Okay, great. Let me play a recording for you. But it's all fake. It's just a recording trying to trick the people that don't realize that, do their quick short answers, don't realize it's recording. Shady tactics used by these tax forgiveness scammers. Don't fall for it, right? During tax season, all year round. So be aware of it. We're going to keep on going here. Lots of scams to go over this evening. We're approaching scam number 4, but we're going over 20 different types of scams. So lots to come up. Hit that like button. Get some more people in here. Let me know you're watching. If you want to talk about specific scams, let me know. We could jump to those. And I want to hear your experiences. What scams are you being targeted with? What scams are your friends falling for, right? We all have those friends that they're falling for these scams. So let's get the word out. Let's spread some awareness. If you're just joining, make sure to join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. And you hit join mailing list. Follow us on your favorite social media platforms. And we have super thanks and memberships enabled over on YouTube. So if you want to help out with a few dollars, you can check out our memberships or use the super chat or the super thanks. Is that what they're called? Over on YouTube. Or donate directly. Scamaware101.com/donate. Donating directly, we get the most out of it. YouTube takes a pretty chunk. So if you're going to donating directly, if you're going to donate a lot, like a big chunk, do it directly. No reason for YouTube to get it all. But we have the memberships enabled too, so over on YouTube. And look, we're just trying to spread something good, right? Get something good out there. Spread the word about these scams so you can protect yourself, protect your loved ones, because it's a problem. These scammers, I'm telling you, they're taking everything from people. Everything. Their entire life savings, their retirement savings, right? They're targeting you. They're targeting your parents, your grandparents, right? They want to take any inheritance that you have. These scammers want it all. So it's important to be aware of it. And, at least be aware of it so you could warn your loved ones too. So let's keep going here. This next scam we're going to talk about, this is an interesting one. It's basically a fake promotion scam that they try to trick you into paying with a gift card. All right, so fraudsters impersonate, in some cases, a service provider, right, like your internet provider, and they offer the victim a discount for paying with a retail gift card. Victims are tricked into purchasing gift cards and sending them to the scammer. Right? And how this scam works is usually starts with a phone call, and I have a recording of one of those phone calls that I'll play for you in a minute. But it usually starts with a phone call that impersonates some kind of service provider. In this case, it's going to be Comcast. Right? You get a phone call, it's from a scammer, they're impersonating Comcast, and they tell you that your promotional discount expires today. Your 50% discount expires today, so that means your bill's going to double, right? And to call back this number, right? But the number they leave isn't Comcast number. It's actually to call a scammer back, right? So once these scammers get you on the phone, then they're going to try to trick you into purchasing a gift card. They'll say something like, we have a promotion going with Target. And if you go to Target and you purchase a $500 gift card, make the payment with the $500 gift card, we'll apply it to your Comcast bill. But it's all a scam. What happens, the victim purchases a $500 gift card. They take a picture and send it to the scammer. And then the scammer runs off with that money, right? There's no discount or anything like that. Right? It's not Comcast. So let's take a listen to this phone call. And if you get a phone call like this, I'll tell you how to handle it.
Hello. This voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. Your current 50% discount on your monthly bill will expire by the end of the day. To maintain your reduced rate, call the number on your caller ID immediately. This is your final reminder to act. Call back now. Thank you.
Right, so you get this voicemail claiming it's Comcast. They're claiming that your discount's going to expire, your bill's going to double, and they call back immediately. And also, notice how the recording, it said call back number shown. All right, that's always a red flag. When they can't leave a real phone number to call and they're telling you to call back the number that's on your caller ID or the number shown, it's a scam. Don't trust it. All right. So, again, basically, these scammers, they impersonate Comcast or Verizon or whatever provider you have. When they're impersonating one, we know they're impersonating others. All right. In some cases, they might even know who your provider is already. So they know who to impersonate. But they leave you a message. Your promotion's going to expire. Call us back. When you call them back, they trick you into purchasing a gift card. You think that you're paying for some kind of promotional discount, but it's a scam. So don't fall for it. Be aware. And this scam's been picking up more. It's been more and more common. We're seeing more reports coming around about this one. So definitely be aware of it. And really, any mention of gift cards, it has to be a red flag. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit when we discuss red flags. But any mention of gift cards really needs to be considered a red flag. Let me know if you received any messages like that, impersonating your service provider or trying to trick you into purchasing gift cards. Again, we're seeing that one more and more reports coming in, so be aware of that one. And let's see here. On the agenda, I was going to stop and start red flags now, but let's keep on going over some more scams. Let me see if I could grab a few more out of the queue here. In the meantime, let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're still here. Hit that like button. Give me some reactions. And tell me what kind of scams you're seeing. What kind of email scams are you receiving? Let's talk about gift card received scams. Okay, we'll do gift card received scams, and I'm going to add not inheritance. What is it? An investment scam. Okay, cool. All right, so next two scams we're going to talk about. I'm going to go over gift card received scam email. So these gift card received email scams. Basically, victims receive an email notification that they received a gift card. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by clicking a link, malware is installed on their device or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. All right. So gift card received email scams. Let's talk about this a little bit. So for an example, right, you get an email and it looks like this. It looks like it's from Venmo. It says your $50 gift card is here. And it says your company has given you an employee rewards card. Activate your card today. Right? But this is actually a scam. So what would you do if you get an email like this? Anything that says someone sent you a free gift card, what you want to do, you want to verify. You want to confirm with whoever supposedly sent you this gift card. Right? You don't want to trust the links. You don't want to trust the contact information. You need to verify first. Right? So in this case, it says it's an employee rewards card. So that means it's from your employer. So if you received an email like this, what you would do is you would reach out to your employer first and say, hey, did you send me this rewards card? Right? And if he says yes, great. If he says no, there you go. You just avoided a scam. And by the way, point out to them that you did the right thing by checking in with them. There you go. Right? And then use it as an example to share with the rest of the employees. And you're the company hero now. But any type of scam like this where it says you received the gift card, even it might say it's from a family member or a friend, right? Still, you have to reach out to them and confirm first. You're going to want to say thank you anyway, right? So reach out to that family member, that friend that supposedly sent you this gift card, and ask them. They say yes, you say thank you too, right? So two birds with one stone. But you always need to verify and confirm. All right, so don't fall for these $50 gift card scams where it says it's from a friend, family member. And by the way, holidays, right? This is one of those scams that we know we're going to see more during the holidays. You get these emails notifying you that someone got you gift cards. Make sure to verify. You with me? Let me know in the chat. Give me some reactions. You live out there, people? All right, so the next scam that we're going to talk about, this is actually submitted by one of our members. I should wait a little later in case she shows up. I know, I might get into it. So this next example. So the next example I'm going to show you here is an investment scam. That's an email. Investment scam email. And right off the bat, it's a little suspicious because it comes from an Outlook.com email address. Right, so somebody's reaching out about potential investment. Right, from an Outlook.com email. It's kind of a little suspicious right off the bat. It says, "Dear friend, I hope this email finds you well. My name is Joel Mercier, and I am CEO of JMH Holdings and Silicate Resources, yada, 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 originally from France, but I'm based in the U.S. I'm reaching out to explore the possibility of establishing a partnership to pursue profitable investment opportunities in your country. As part of this venture, I would appreciate it if you could prepare a business proposal within your area of expertise. I'll review the proposal, and following a thorough discussion, we can proceed to next steps in finalizing our partnership. In addition, since you'll be facilitating the introduction of this business, I am trusting you with the management of the investment portfolio on my behalf. Once we engage in detailed discussions, we can further align approach, yada, yada." So, look, they make it sound very professional. For this investment, I've allocated a budget of 70 million USD, right? So they're trying to, oh, you're going to be a millionaire now. You got this email. It's your lucky day, right? They're trying to take advantage of your greed, making you think, wow, I'm going to be rich. And also what's interesting about this email is they included a image attachment that shows a passport. All right, so it's a French passport. And this is all out of the blue, right? This is just some random email sent to somebody. You know, they were picked to be part of this investment. And by the way, here's my passport with all my private details, right? The whole thing's shady. Red flags all over the place. You know, you get an email, somebody's just giving you their passport right off the bat. You know, sending pictures of their passport just out there to strangers. That's a red flag. That's not real. This is obviously a stolen identity. Somebody's stolen identity or a fake passport, right? And also notice they only contact information they give is a WhatsApp phone number, which is also a red flag. Right? I know Facebook is trying to make WhatsApp more legitimate, use it for business and this and that, but when it's the only contact is a WhatsApp phone number, that's suspicious. All right. So anyway, this is an example of investment email scam. And it's important not to fall for these. Right, there's red flags all over. So be aware. And especially if they include their passport with it. That's just a little strange. It's one thing if you take the time to know somebody and meet them and they show you identification, but a whole other thing when you just get an unsolicited email that includes somebody's passport. Nah, it's unusual, that's strange, and whenever there's something unusual and strange, it's a red flag. So be aware. How we doing out there, folks? Let me know you're watching. Hit that thumbs up, that like button. Follow, subscribe. We need all the help we could get. Help us do something good here. Just updating the agenda schedule here. All right, cool. So we just covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scams out of at least 20, 21 scams that we're going to cover tonight. So we just covered 6 scams, about a quarter way through. Tons more coming up this evening. We're going for a few more hours, at least another 2, maybe 3 hours. So still a good time to invite some people in here, get some loved ones in here. Let's warn them about some scams. And this next portion of the live stream, what we do now is we're going to talk about some red flags. Right, common red flags that you're dealing with a scammer. We actually did a video about these red flags. So all the red flags we're about ready to discuss, the 5 red flags. We have a video on our YouTube channel that has all the same slides and details we're going to share with you. So later on, if you want to share that video with a loved one, we can go find it on our YouTube channel, the red flags. And let's get started here. And let me know if you've encountered any of these red flags too. as we go through them. And oh yeah, before we get started, join that free mailing list, everybody. If you're just joining the live stream, head over to scamware101.com and hit join mailing list. So we could keep you updated when we release new content, warn you about new scams, send you some reminders about when we're going live. All important stuff. You can unsubscribe at any time, but I promise we won't send you a junk mail, and you probably won't unsubscribe because there's no reason to. So join our free mailing list, check it out, and stay up to date with what we're doing here. Now back to these red flags. And as we go through these, let me know in the chat and in the comments if you've encountered these red flags too when you're dealing with a scammer. The thing that's important about these red flags and where to get these from is the victims' stories, right? We hear victims' stories, and a lot of times you find these common threads and common warnings through these stories, and they're red flags. And it's sad because a lot of times if the victims were aware of these red flags, it might have been enough to stop what was happening. All right, so these red flags we're about to go over. We're going to go over like the top 5. There's plenty of others, but we're going to go over 5 for now. And a lot of times these red flags might be the last chance you have to stop a scam. So let's get some more people in here. And again, I have that video about this on our YouTube channel as well. So make sure to share this video later, the red flags video, with some loved ones. But anyway, let's talk about red flags. Help you recognize if you're dealing with a scammer. And let me know in the comments and the chat as we go through these if you've encountered them. So red flag number 1, they direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Right? So scammers love using third-party chat apps because it's easier to communicate with victims in other countries, and it offers more anonymity for the scammer to hide behind. Right? So notice in that last example that we just showed about that investment scam, and the only contact details was a WhatsApp number. Right? There you go. So it's always a big red flag if someone you're talking to, a stranger, they just start talking to online, they try to get you to use Telegram or WhatsApp or even download a third-party app. Right? It's a red flag. And some scams where that's part of the playbook is romance scams. Right? These dating websites, these scammers set up fake dating profiles, lure in new victims, and then when they match with these people on dating websites, they'll ask them to continue talking on WhatsApp. Right? And that's a red flag that they're trying to get you to talk on WhatsApp. Wrong number scams. We're going to talk about this one a little later. You get these text messages from wrong numbers, right? And but they try to befriend you. Well, you sound nice. Let's keep talking on WhatsApp. Right? It's a red flag. They're trying to get you onto WhatsApp. So be suspicious. Investment scams. Okay, they direct a victim to Telegram or WhatsApp group to pop up an investment or appear more legit. Right? A lot of times you'll join these groups and there'll be these fake bots creating all this fake interest in an investment, just trying to get you to lose your money. All right? Don't trust it. They try to get you into these Telegram and WhatsApp channels. Be suspicious. It says red flag number 1 that you're dealing with a scammer. Now, we already saw some examples of that in the few scams that we've gone over so far. Red flag number 2, and this is a big one. This is a big one. If you remember any of these red flags, this is the one to remember. All right? They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Right? So any mention of gift cards, Bitcoin, going to ATM, right? Prepaid cards, all red flags. These unusual forms of payment are red flags. Right? And scammers love getting paid in these unusual forms of payment because it's easier to move and transfer the funds quickly, right? But it's harder for victims to recover the money after it's sent. Right? So you purchase these gift cards, you take pictures and send them to the scammer, they clear out the gift cards. There's nothing you could do. The funds are gone as soon as you send them to the scammer. Right? By the time you realize it was a scam, you can't get those funds back. Right? Prepaid gift cards, cryptocurrency. When you send cryptocurrency, very rarely are you going to be able to get that transaction reversed. Right? Unless you use some kind of strange, unusual service that has some kind of hold for days, which very few do. Right? You go to these ATMs, you deposit the money. Right? The cryptocurrency goes directly to the scammer, and it's instant, and you're never going to get back. All right, so any mention of cryptocurrency, going to Bitcoin ATM, purchasing gift cards, major red flags. Major red flags. And in this case, this is probably the last chance you have to stop the scam too, right? Because if you get past that one, the money's gone. So some examples where it's part of the playbook, task for these unusual forms of payment. As IRS and Social Security scams. Right? We talked about these a little earlier. Scammers impersonate government agencies and ask for payment in gift cards or cryptocurrency. All right. So if someone's reaching out to you claiming to be from the government and they're asking you to make a payment with cryptocurrency or gift cards, it's 100% a scam. Right? As of right now, the government doesn't accept crypto or gift cards as payment. Right? Maybe in the future they'll accept crypto, but as of right now they don't. So if anybody's reaching out to you claiming to be from the IRS, Social Security, any other government agency, and they're trying to get you to make a payment with crypto, don't trust it. It's a scam. Right? Romance scams. Right? These scammers, they request gift cards and crypto from their emotionally attached victim. The victim just thinks that they're sending a gift card to someone they love, or they're depositing cryptocurrency into a shared crypto account for their future. But the truth is, the scammer is the only one with access to the crypto account. The person making the deposit doesn't realize they don't have access to that account. All right? And the same thing goes with the gift cards. Once they're sent, you're not going to be able to retrieve those funds. So the scammer isn't requesting those forms of payment just because they'd be a nice gift, right? They're requesting those form of payments because they know they can't be recovered once they're sent. So any mention of these gift cards, cryptocurrency, it has to be a red flag because we know that's what scammers prefer. Bank impersonation scams. So we're going to mention this one a few times tonight. In these bank impersonation scams, they'll trick victims into withdrawing their cash from the bank. A lot of times they'll say it's not safe, someone's stolen your identity, right? And they'll tell the victim to purchase gift cards or to deposit money at a Bitcoin ATM. The victim thinks that they're just moving funds in some unusual way. They're just moving funds to protect them, right? But they don't realize they're actually withdrawing and sending funds to a scammer. We'll go over some examples of scams where they use that narrative. Where they tell you, your money's not safe in the bank, you need to withdraw it. A lot of times they impersonate the bank when they're telling the victim this. So the victim thinks they're talking to the bank. And even though it sounds strange, well, it's the bank, so I'll listen to them. But it's a scam. Don't fall for it. All right, so that's red flag number 2, all these unusual forms of payment. Gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency. And you mentioned a Bitcoin ATM. Don't trust it. Again, let me know in the chat, in the comments, if you encountered any of these types of scams. All the scams we're going over this evening. Extremely common, active, currently circulating. So it's important to be aware of these. If you're just joining, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, follow button. Help us spread awareness about these scams. We're trying to put something good out there. And you can help by hitting that like button, subscribe, follow. Still plenty of time to get this live stream shared. We're going to be going for another 2 hours this evening. Talk about red flag number 3. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone by a text message. Right? So this is actually a pretty popular scam. And you see it a lot on marketplace type websites like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, sites like that. And a lot of times these scammers, they'll impersonate a buyer or a seller. Right? And they'll say they just want to confirm your phone number and they're going to send a code to it. Right? But it's a scam. There's no reason for an individual to send a code to your phone and then tell you to give it back to them. All right? What they're really trying to do, they're trying to do something malicious that's linked to your phone. Right? They're trying to get into an account that's linked to your phone, or they're trying to reset your password that's linked to a phone, or they're trying to create a new account and link it to your phone. Right? And we'll talk about that some more right now. We'll go into some details about each of those. But the important part to remember is that if you're dealing with somebody and they tell you they're going to send a code to your phone, and they ask you to provide that code back, don't trust it. It's a scam. It's a big red flag. All right? Because what they could be doing, for example, is trying to log into one of your accounts. All right? Your account's linked to your phone number, and you're getting that code as a security measure. If you turn around and you give the scammer that code, you just gave them access to your account. All right? You never should give an individual a code they say is sending to your phone. Password reset requests. Right? They might be trying to reset one of your passwords, your bank account or to some other account. Right? And we give that code back to them. You allow them to reset that password. And then there's the Google Voice scams. And how this works is Google Voice, when you create an account with a Google Voice service, they give you a free phone number. But you have to register with your own unique phone number. Right? So what these scammers do is they try to use other people's phone. They try to use your phone number. Right? Because they want to get these free phone numbers from Google. So they'll try to use your phone number to create this Google Voice account. Right? And to verify it, you get a code sent to your phone. If you give that code back, you let the scammer create a fraudulent Google Voice account that's linked to your phone number, and then you're running around using Google Voice to scam people. Right? It's all linked to you. So that's a big red flag. Somebody's trying to send a code to your phone, and they tell you to give it back to them. Don't trust it. It's a scam. There's no reason individuals and strangers should be telling you they're going to send a code to your phone. Don't trust it. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. Let me know if you ever encountered that one. I don't know. It's looking a little quiet tonight, folks. Let me know you're there. Let me know you're watching. Hit that react button. Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're there. We're going to keep on going here. Red flag number 4. You're dealing with a scammer. They ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Sadly, this has become more and more common, and it's become more and more part of the playbook of these scams, where they try to access your device. And scammers love to access people's devices because it's a gold mine for them. What I mean by that is when they get on your device, they can steal your logins and passwords, right? If you have your logins saved in your browser, for example, your Chrome browser, like these scammers, they get onto your device, they can extract those logins and passwords. Right? They can encrypt your files, hold them for ransom, blackmail you with pictures or embarrassing documents you might have. Right? And this is all stuff they do. They'll try to access your bank accounts while they're on your device. And the scary part is, if you let these scammers onto your device, obviously you don't realize there's a scammer yet. Right? So a lot of times, these victims, they let the scammer on their device. They think they're dealing with like a government agency or a bank. They think they're dealing with a trustworthy person. So a scammer will be on their device and they'll say, hey, log into each of your bank accounts. Let's see if there's something strange going on into each of those. Right? Or hey, I'm going to run a check on your computer for anything malicious. But what they're really doing is they're gathering your logins. They're learning what accounts you have. If you log into your bank accounts, they're going to notice how much funds you have and how much money, that they potentially are going to try to steal from you. Right? You can't let these scammers onto your computer or your device. Nothing good comes from it. And once they get on it, they can install software where they can get on it anytime, where they don't need your help to get on to it. So, also, what if these scammers are doing illegal things? Downloading illegal content, distributing illegal content, right? Now they're on your device, and they're doing it from your connection. So all this illegal stuff they're doing, they could come right back to you, right? You never want to let these scammers on your device. So that's red flag number 4. Let's talk about some scams where that's actually part of the playbook. It's a common part of the playbook for these scammers to to access your device. All right, so the first one is tech support scams. And we're going to talk about this one. I'm going to show you examples of these in a little bit. But these tech support scams are fake virus alerts. Right? It's basically they trick victims into calling these fake tech support numbers. Right? The victim gets a fake virus alert, says call this number for help. They call tech support. They think they're calling tech support, but it's actually a scammer. And then the scammer says, hey, let me get on your device, fix up that virus for you. But it's a scam, and they just tricked you into letting them on your device. So we're going to talk about that specific scam a little later. I got a lot of screenshots and examples to show you that one. That was important. Fake order scams. Right? You'll get a notification saying an order was placed and call a number to dispute it. Right? It's all fake. It's all a lie. But you'll call that number, and it actually connects you to a scammer. The scammer impersonates customer support and says, hey, let me connect your device and see what you see what notification you got, right? But it's a scam. It was a trick to get on your device. And then there's a fake fraudulent activity, right? They reach out to you. They claim they're investigating fraudulent activity. They might claim to be from the bank or government agency, right? And they'll say, we've detected fraudulent activity. Let's connect your device. I'll check your computer, see if there's anything malicious on there. But it's a scam, right? And those are just a few examples of what it's part of the playbook to get on your device. They love getting on your device. They'll steal your passwords, your files. It's no good. So don't fall for it. Red flag number 4. They have to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. And look, when it comes to letting people onto your device or your PC, right, you should stop right now and you should think to yourself, hey, if I have a computer problem, if I get a pop-up that says I have a virus, who am I going to call? Right? So if you're concerned it's real, you already know who you're going to call. Maybe it's that family member that works on a computer. Maybe it's the tech support people at work. Maybe it's a local computer shop down the street. But you should already have someone in mind who you would call if you needed help with your computer. You don't want to trust these random pop-ups, these strangers over the internet, these numbers that you don't know if they actually call a real tech support line or not, right? So don't let strangers onto your device. If you ever get into a situation where someone's pressuring you or telling you they need to access your device, reach out to your own computer guy or computer girl. Don't trust these strangers. So that's red flag number 4. They're dealing with a scammer. They asked to connect your device to troubleshoot or investigate an issue. Let me know if you've encountered that one. And how are you all doing this evening? Let me know in the chat. Say hi. Let me know you're watching. Give me some reactions. Still plenty of time to get some more people into the live stream here. We're going for at least another 2 hours. We're only a quarter way through all the scams we're talking about this evening. So some of the best scams are still to come. Let's talk about red flag number 5. This is the last red flag that we'll talk about. That you're dealing with a scammer. Right? They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. Right? It's extremely common for scammers to ask for confidentiality. They don't want you to discuss the situation with other people. The more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam. Right? So they want to keep you quiet, and they'll tell you stories to try and keep you quiet. The stories might be pretty convincing too. So it's important to be aware of this. It's always a red flag, if some stranger is telling you to keep a situation confidential or secret. And some scams where that's part of the playbook. Right? Grandparent scams. We're going to be talking about this one a little bit too. But they're impersonating. They claim a relative needs some help. Maybe they're locked up in an accident, DUI or something, right? And they'll claim they need financial help, right? But they'll say your relative's embarrassed, though, and ask you not to tell anybody. That's the red flag, right? They tell you not to tell anybody. And it seems like a reasonable request, right? But it's part of the scam, right? So it's a red flag. They're asking for confidentiality, secrecy, right? Investment scams. They'll tell you it's an inside tip. Don't tell anyone. Our price is just for you. Don't share it, right? But that's all part of the scam, right? They just don't want you talking to people. You talk to people, people might say, hey, it sounds like a scam. Inheritance scams. And we have the example of this one we're going to share with you later too. They'll mail a letter impersonating a law office, claiming you're entitled to a fake inheritance. The letter requests confidentiality. And we actually have that example we'll share later too. But the request for confidentiality is a red flag, right? Who are they to tell you whether or not you should tell anybody about an inheritance, right? It's a red flag. And then there's that fake fraudulent activity where they reach out to you, claim they're investigating some kind of fraud. They impersonate the bank or an agency. And they try to convince you that your money's not safe, that whole narrative that we'll talk about more. But when they do, they'll say, we're investigating some malicious activity and fraud, right? And it's important that you don't tell anybody because you might impact the investigation. You might tip off the bad guys, and they'll have to hold you responsible for hurting our investigation, right? But it's all BS. It's not true, right? They're just saying that because they want you to keep quiet. They're just trying to trick you into not talking to anybody about what's going on, right? At least long enough for them to take your money. All right, so that's red flag number 5. They request confidentiality or to keep something secret. All right, it's suspicious. Don't fall for it. Let me know in the chat what you think. Tell me in the comments. Have you encountered this? All right, so we just went over 5 red flags. We're going to summarize them real quick if you joined a little late here. But we also have a video about these 5 red flags too. So check it out on our YouTube channel. Share it with a loved one. Very important to be aware of these. And some of them might be your last chance to stop the scam too. All right, so just a quick summary. Those 5 red flags. Red flag number 1. They direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Right? They're telling you to download a third-party chat app. Be suspicious. Red flag number 2. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM, all suspicious, unusual forms of payment, right? Any mention of gift cards, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin ATM, it has to be red flags. We know scammers love getting paid that way. Don't trust it. Don't fall for it. All right, red flag number 3. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. Very common scam. They're usually trying to do something malicious, trying to get into one of your accounts or create an account that's linked to your phone, don't trust it. If somebody's telling you they're going to send a code to your phone, they give it back. Don't trust it. Something suspicious is going on. It's red flag. Red flag number 4, they ask you to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Right? Scammers love to get on your device. It's a gold mine to them. They steal all sorts of information about you, get into your accounts. You never want to let these scammers onto your PC. So if somebody's asking to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue, be suspicious. Don't trust it. Right? You should already have your own computer person in mind, to reach out to. Don't trust these strangers with access to your device. And then red flag number 5, they request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. All right, so of course, scammers don't want you talking to other people. They don't want you consulting friends and getting advice from people because you're more likely to find out it's a scam, right? So if you're in a situation where a stranger's telling you to keep things confidential or secret, don't trust it. Be suspicious. It's a very common thing that scammers do. All right, red flag. So that's 5 red flags you're dealing with a scammer. Be aware of them. Let your friends and family know. All important. And let me know if you encountered those in the chat. I want to hear from you. And feel free to share your other red flags. We know there's tons more. We got a video coming out soon with 5 more red flags. All right, everybody. We're 1 hour into our live stream. Welcome to everybody out there watching. I don't really see the viewer count, so I don't know how many of you are out there. I could be sitting here talking to myself. I don't know. But I hear all geniuses talk to themselves, so there you go. But if you're joining for the first time, welcome. I'm Jared with ScamAware 101. We do this live stream every week as one of our many ways to help spread awareness about scams that target individuals, right? Individuals like you, me, your friends, family, loved ones. Because look, we're being targeted from all angles. Phone calls, emails, text messages, traditional mail through postal service. These scammers, they're at it all day long, right? So you have to have your guard up, and you have to be aware. Sadly, again, these victims, they lose their money and they never recover the funds, right? And they're surprised by that. You find out, you think your money's safe at the bank, right? But when you withdraw it and you're tricked, when you're tricked into withdrawing your own money, the bank's not going to cover that, right? That's not insured. So people, they're shocked to find out that hundreds of thousands of dollars, their entire life savings, can be taken just like that. There's nothing they can do about it. Law enforcement, these criminals, they're out of the reach. They're out of reach of law enforcement, right? So law enforcement can't help. The bank can't help. It's very rare that those funds are recovered, right? It's still worth. If you get scammed, you immediately want to notify the police, the banks. You want to notify as many as you can, because the sooner you notify, and the sooner you take action, the more likely you are to maybe recover some funds. But it's unlikely, and the longer you wait, the more unlikely it becomes. So awareness is key. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Right? I'm going to say that again. Those are words to live by. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And by watching these videos we're putting out here, keeping yourself aware of these scams, that's the ounce of prevention that's going to save you that headache and pound of cure that you're going to have to deal with if you fall for one of these scams. All right, so hit that like button. Help us spread awareness. Follow, subscribe. It really does help. And it's time for our first quick 5-minute coffee break. We usually take 2 of these during our live stream. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, recaffeinate, get the ScamAware 101 travel mug refilled. And then we're going to continue with some more common scams to be aware of. The next batch is a good one. Good batch of scams coming up here. And I'm going to play a little theme song here. I'm going to play for you. We'll wait for our coffee break. Our coffee break. All right, folks, stay tuned. Be back in 5 minutes. Hit that like button. Invite some more people. Let's get this going tonight.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scammer my truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, bet wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scammerware 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, leave you broken despair. Stay woke, my people, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears or sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate. You acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send a bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears or sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.
All right, going into our second. Oh, let's see if I can fix the live stream here. Looks like I'm a little blurry. What are we doing out there? Come on. Sometimes it gets a little blurry. Get my face. There we go. Now I'm back. All right, everybody, welcome back. We're going to our second hour of the live stream here. Recaffeinated, got the Skimware 101 coffee travel mug refilled, ready to go. You get your own over on our YouTube channel or YouTube store, or over on our website here on skimware101.com. You have a link down here at the bottom, says gift shop. So click that and get yourself a Skimware 101 coffee travel mug. Got some other items on there too: mouse pads, stickers, water bottles, all useful items that you would keep on your desk and around to remind you not to fall for scams, or remind that loved one not to fall for scams. Make great stocking stuffers. Check it out over on our YouTube store. or on that link on our website, scamaware101.com. You can also join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. It's free. We'll keep you updated with some recent scams, reminders when we're going live, things like that. All good stuff. You can unsubscribe at any time, but we take it easy. We don't send you junk mail and annoying. It's all good. Once you sign up, I think you'll stay. If you want to help out financially too, we'll take a couple bucks. You can donate through directly, scamaware101.com/donate. Or we have memberships enabled and super chats enabled over on YouTube as well. So we appreciate any financial support. Help us support our mission, whether it's through YouTube or our online store. We appreciate it all. But hey, just hit that like button. Like, subscribe, follow. We'll settle for that too. Things are tight for everybody. The holidays are approaching. I completely understand. I don't expect to be making money out here, but it helps. But it's free to click like, subscribe, and follow. So help support what we're doing out here. Help spread awareness of these scams. And at least like, subscribe, follow. But anyway, we're going to keep going here. Lots more common scams to discuss and share with you this evening, this next batch. And we're going to be going for at least another 2 hours or so. Right, at least another 2 hours. So plenty of time to hit that like button, invite some more people into these live streams. We're on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm mostly monitoring the YouTube chats, but I'm checking in on Instagram and Facebook too from time to time. But if you head over to YouTube, I'll answer you quickest. And we want to hear from you. What scams are you encountering? What questions you have? All right, we have an agenda that we're going through and following tonight, but it's flexible. Right, these live streams, I keep these live streams flexible. They're more about interacting, answering questions, and so I want to hear from you. Don't be shy. Say hi in the chat and the comments. Hit those react buttons and let me know you're here. Otherwise, it starts to feel like I'm talking to myself, which is no fun. So anyway, let's continue with these common scams to be aware of. And again, all these scams and examples that I'm sharing with you this evening, these are all active scams. They're all recent, currently circulating. They're all important to be aware of. So let's start with our next one here. And that's arrest warrant and jury duty scams. And we also did a video about this one. A lot of scams we talk about tonight, we have videos about them individually on our YouTube channel. So make sure to check those out later. But arrest warrant scams. Right? So a victim is contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. The scammer claims an arrest warrant was issued and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens the victim with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. Right? And this could be a scary situation. You get a phone call, somebody's claiming to be from the local sheriff's department and claiming they're going to issue an arrest warrant for you. Sometimes they'll say it's because you missed jury duty. Right? So sometimes this gets referred to as a jury duty scam. And they'll say you have to pay immediately. Right? Otherwise, I'm going to send deputies down there and they're going to arrest you right now. Right? It could be a scary situation. So it's important to be aware of this type of scam. And a couple details about this scam too is it's been reported that when these scammers call, they call on the phone and they're impersonating the sheriff's office or your local police department, whatever the case. They'll actually manipulate the caller ID to show the local sheriff's office's phone number or the police department's phone number, right? So you'll look at the caller ID and it will show the sheriff, the local sheriff department, or it'll show your local police department, but it's actually a scammer. Right? So that's very important to remember. If anything, one of the main things to take away from this live stream this evening, if you take away anything, if you weren't aware of it, scammers can manipulate caller ID. It's called caller ID spoofing is what it's called. And it's when they show a different number on the caller ID than where they're calling from. So these scammers, they'll be calling from a completely different country on the other side of the world. Right? And they can make the caller ID show your bank's phone number, your sheriff's department phone number. Right? So they could do that. So caller ID is not a way to verify who's actually calling you. Right? Very important to be aware of that. You can't trust an unsolicited phone call just because caller ID says, oh, this is the bank or this is the police department. Right? You have to verify. Very important. Next couple scams that we talk about, I'm probably going to repeat that many times. So anyway, arrest warrant scams. Right? Somebody calls you up, tells you that there's going to be an arrest warrant issued to pay immediately. It's suspicious. Right? Be aware that this is a common scam, right? And sometimes they'll tell you missed jury duty. Sometimes they'll say you failed to show up to a court summons, right? But it's important to recognize if any of that was true, it wouldn't be handled by calling you on the phone, right? They would have sent you official paperwork and documents that there was a warrant. They would have came knocking. This isn't something you just get a phone call about, right? So right off the bat, it's suspicious. So you get a phone call like this. If you're concerned that it's real, here's what you do. Right, you ask them. And by the way, we covered this in our video too, as well, so you can share it with someone later. Ask them the name of the organization that issued the warrant, right? Then hang up, and call the organization directly, through official channels. Make sure you're calling the actual sheriff's department or the actual police department. Whoever they claim that the warrant was issued through, right? And that's how you verify it. You can't trust the incoming call. You have to hang up, right? And they should understand that, right? Like, hey, there's a lot of scams. You're in law enforcement. I'm sure you understand that. Thanks for letting me know. I'm going to hang up and I'll call back, right? And hang up. So, I mean, honestly, don't even give them the courtesy. Just hang up. Hang up, and if you think it's real, reach out to the organization directly. But anyway, again, be aware. These arrest warrant scams, they're out there. There's a lot of them. Lots of warnings. Lots of warnings coming from local sheriff's departments. Lots of warnings coming from law enforcement. They don't like being impersonated by these scammers, right? Because these scammers, they take the victim's money, and then when the victim realizes and calls up the sheriff's department or whatever, the sheriff's department is like, I don't know what you're talking about. You didn't make a payment. That was a scam. So lots of warnings about this one, right? Anybody calls up claiming to be from the sheriff's office, there's an arrest warrant being issued. Even if they offer to send paperwork, you have to verify. Be suspicious. Don't trust it. Watch the video on our YouTube channel about this one. We included some clips of warnings from local police departments that were out there and local sheriff's offices that were warning about this one. We included some clips about that, some examples of the fake paperwork that they offer to send. Right? It's scams. Right? Don't trust it. You have to verify. You have to verify. No matter how scary it might be. Right? It could be scary. You get a phone call. Oh my God, it's the sheriff's office. They're going to arrest me. I better pay. I better do what they say. Take a breath. Pause. Take a breath. Tell them, okay, I'll get back to you. Thanks for letting me know. Right? Even if they say, they'll say, if you hang up, we're going to send the deputies there. Right? Don't let them scare you. Don't let them scare you. All right? So watch out for those arrest warrant scams. Lots of them out there. Could be a scary situation. Don't fall for it. Again, they'll say you missed jury duty. They'll say you missed a summons to appear, but don't fall for it. Let me know in the chat and comments if you've been targeted by that scam. Got a lot of warnings about that one recently. All right, this next scam we're going to talk about is an important one too. Look, they're all important, but these two we're going over now are super important here. Especially these bank impersonation scams, because again, we know these scammers, they want to take everything from you, and once they have you thinking that it's a bank, right? You think you're talking to your bank, it's pretty easy from that point for them to take everything you got. So let's talk about these bank impersonation scams. Scammers impersonate the bank, usually claiming suspicious activity was detected under a victim's account. Victims are then tricked into withdrawing and transferring funds to the scammers impersonating the bank. The caller ID might even display the bank's phone number, even though it's a scammer. And this is another example of when we hear about these scams, the victims confirm that the caller ID showed their bank's number, right? And a lot of times when you hear the victims' stories, the main reason they fell for it and thought they were talking to bank was because they didn't realize caller ID could be manipulated, right? They thought my caller ID said it was my bank, so I thought I was talking to the bank. And a lot of times I thought it was strange that they were telling me to withdraw my money and do this with it, but I thought it was the bank because of caller ID. All right, so again, I can't stress enough how important it is to be aware that caller ID can be manipulated and you can't trust it. So as far as these bank impersonation scams go, I have an example here to share with you. All right, and again, you have to keep your guard up, whether it's a phone call claiming to be your bank, an email claiming to be your bank, a text message claiming to be your bank. We know these scammers are using all methods possible to reach victims, all right? But this example on my screen here is a text message scam that's impersonating the bank. Right? It's impersonating TD Bank. And it says, verify TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction for $250 at Walgreens? Reply yes if recognized or no if not. All right, but this is a scam. This isn't really the TD Bank. And what's interesting about this example that was provided and shared with us is right before the person received this text message, she got a phone call. She didn't answer the phone call, but the caller ID said TD Bank. right? So she gets a phone call. She doesn't answer. It said it was TD Bank. Caller ID says it's TD Bank. She doesn't answer. Right after not answering, she gets this text message, right? So these scammers, they're persistent. They'll try to phone, then they'll send you a text message, right? It's a misconception. People underestimate how far these scammers will go. People might think, well, they called, right? But then they sent me a text, so it must really be my bank. There's something serious going on. No, it's a scammer. They're willing to go the extra mile. Right. So, if you get a text message like this and you happen to reply, no, because that's the idea. The scammer's trying to get you to reply no, right? Because you didn't use your bank card at Walgreens. All right, so they're trying to get you to reply no. And then you reply no, they're going to try to get you on the phone. They're going to start prying about your information. They might say something like, could you verify your bank account number for us? Or could you verify this, your social security number for us, right? But they're really just getting information from you. And ultimately, they're going to try to get into these bank accounts. So, important to be aware of these bank impersonation scams. Any communication claiming to be from your bank, right? Whether it's an email, text message, phone call, again, you have to verify through official channels. Right? It's simple. You hang up and call the number on the back of your bank card, right? And again, even if the phone number and caller ID shows that the caller is from your bank, you can't trust it. We know that these scammers, they're showing your bank on the caller ID. Right? You gotta hang up or don't answer, right? And instead call your bank directly by calling the number on the back of your card. Right? And you need to do this for anything, any type of suspicious, any activity notification you get. If it says something strange is going on with your account, all right, call your bank directly. Don't click links. Don't trust what the instructions say. Right? Just call your bank directly. So watch out for these bank impersonation scams. One more thing to share about these is we have this victim's story about this that we want to share. A young Connecticut woman had her bank account drained by scammers after answering trusted Wells Fargo number. Right, so that's what happened in her case. And this is it's a young Connecticut woman, right? And that's important to acknowledge too. A lot of people think it's only the older folks getting scammed, but in a lot of the stories we have for you this evening, a lot of the victims they're younger folks, right? So, and in this case, the reason why she fell for it is she got a phone call. Right, caller ID said Wells Fargo, so she thought, okay, it's my bank. Right, she did whatever they told her to. In her case, they told her there was something going on with her Zelle account. There was fraudulent activity, and they told her she needed to transfer money with Zelle, right, to secure her account. And we hear about that type of scam a lot. So they give her the details, do this transfer, it secures your account, but the scammers actually are tricking the victim into moving funds to them. Zelle is a red flag. When a stranger calls you up and they're trying to tell you to transfer money with Zelle, it's a red flag. We know that scammers like to use Zelle because there's not much insurance on that money. You're not going to get back when the scammer steals it. So anyway, bank impersonation scams, watch out for it. Mentions of Zelle, red flags. In a lot of cases, the scammer might already know what bank account you use, so they'll know what bank to impersonate too. Right? And they might know some details about you. So just because they know certain details, don't trust it. You still need to verify. Yeah, so bank impersonation scams. Watch out. Let me know if you've been targeted by scams like these. And I know you have. I know everybody's getting emails at least. We're all getting emails impersonating our bank. Right. I think most of us have been starting to get phone calls too. So let me know in the chat and comments. I want to hear from you. All right, this next scam we're going to talk about here. This is an important one. I know I say that for all of them, but so a lot of older folks are the victims of this scam. So it's important to be aware of this one for yourself and for the older folks in your family. Make them aware of this one too. Right? But it's tech support scams. And what that is, usually how this works, is victims receive a fake virus alert on their device and are tricked into calling a fake tech support phone number. All right? The victim is unknowingly connected to a scammer who requests access to the victim's device, and then the scammer steals personal and financial details from the victim. And in most cases, it's a fake virus alert. The victim's browsing the internet, right? They're minding their own business, browsing the internet, and they get a pop-up, right? And it looks like a fake virus alert, but it's actually just a web page that's designed to look like a virus alert, right? And these scammers, they create these fake web page pop-ups to trick victims into calling a support number that's actually scammers, right? And then this has all the traits of a common scam, where they try to scare you, because these examples I'm going to share with you, they can be very scary. You're infected with the virus. You can lose everything. Someone could have access to your files and bank accounts. Call now, immediately, right? Sometimes they play a sound on loop where it says, you're infected, call a number. You're infected, call a number. It's wild, right? But let's take a look at some of these examples of these fake virus alerts. And also keep in mind, it doesn't matter what type of device you're on. So there used to be this misconception, and maybe some people still think that, you're more secure on a Mac or Apple device, right, than a Windows device. But it's not necessarily true anymore these days. And especially with this type of scam, any device that you're browsing the internet on, right, that can get a pop-up, right, is vulnerable to this type of scam. It doesn't matter if you're browsing the internet on your Windows computer, your MacBook, your iPhone. You can get one of these fake pop-ups, these fake alerts saying you have a virus. Right, so this one's important to be aware of. And let's take a look at some of these fake alerts so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. All right, so our first example here, this one impersonates McAfee antivirus. You're browsing the internet, mind your own business, and boom, your PC is infected with viruses, right? It's got the McAfee logo, red, action required. Your computer is infected with a Trojan. All right, call McAfee helpline. But if you call that number, it actually connects you to a scam call center. And the scammer's going to try to get on your device and eventually get money from you, usually by getting into your bank accounts. Back in the day, these scammers would trick you into paying like $100 for a virus removal, right? But nowadays, these scammers are ruthless. They figure, why are we just going to scam out of $100? We get onto your device, and then they steal everything. They get into your bank accounts, they get all your money. It's terrible. So you get these fake pop-ups. You call a number, they're going to try to get everything you have, these scammers. I could see how somebody could fall for this too, especially if they have McAfee, right? They think that, there's my McAfee warning me, I better call this number. But it's a scam, don't fall for it. And the big giveaway about these fake virus alerts, if it has a phone number to call, it's a scam, right? Real virus alerts from your antivirus software, real alerts, they won't have a phone number to call. All right, so that's a big giveaway. You get an alert like this, has a phone number to call, it's a scam, don't trust it. And this is one of those other examples where you should have in mind who you're going to call. If you're worried that you actually do have a virus, you don't, but if you're concerned that you do, right, call your computer person. Don't call this number, it's a scam. All right, here's another example. This one impersonates Norton by Symantec, right? Big scary threats detected in red, right? System critically infected. If you're not able to click this button, contact support, toll-free helpline. Well, guess what? They made the button so you can't click them. You're going to click it. They're not going to work anyway. That's what it's designed for, right? It's just another reason they're trying to trick you into calling this fake support number. Right? You can't trust it. The virus alert has a number to call. It's a scam. Don't trust it. Here's another one. Windows Defender, right? They put Microsoft's logo there. They put Windows Defender logo there. The color scheme is right. Right? They could make it very convincing looking, very legit looking, but you can't trust it. It's a scam. And you could tell because it has a phone number to call. When it says call this number, it's a scam. Real virus alerts don't have a phone number to call. Let me know in the chat in the comments if you've gotten these fake virus alerts. Hey, I see them all the time browsing the internet. I do have an ad blocker installed though, which we'll talk about that a little later. Here's another example, right? So we mentioned how it doesn't matter what kind of device you're on, MacBook, Apple, Windows, whatever, it doesn't matter. And in these next couple examples, these specifically target Mac users. Right? It's got the Safari logo here, virus found, big scary red letters. Your MacBook or your Mac computer has 13 infections. All right, but if you call that number, it's a scam. Again, it's because the number's there. That's a giveaway. That's how you know it's a scam. There's another one targeting Mac users. Warning, macOS is infected with viruses. Another malicious applications. Viruses must be removed and system damage repaired. Call Apple support. Right, but that's not their number. It's a scam. Call that number, you connect to a scammer. One more example here for you, these tech support scams. Another one targeting Mac users. Mac OS is infected with spyware and other malicious applications. Please call Apple support. But this scam, can't trust it. Even though it has the Apple logo. All right, this example is an older screenshot of the fake pop-up. That's why you can see the older Apple logo here in the background. But the message and warning, still the same idea. If you get some kind of fake virus alert that says call this number, it's a scam. Don't trust it. If you're going to call anybody, call your computer person. Don't go calling random numbers on the internet. Regarding these tech support scams, I think in most cases it's the fake virus alerts that trick victims into interacting with these scammers. But there have been reports of unsolicited phone calls, though, where the phone call comes in and it says, I'm with tech support, or I'm with Microsoft, and they impersonate an IT company saying, we were alerted you have a virus. And so there have been victims approached that way, too. But I think the most common one is the fake virus alerts that trick users into calling. So don't fall for that one. Again, a lot of the older folks, that's one of the scams that does get them. So, make sure the older loved ones in your life are aware of those fake tech support scams. How we all doing out there? Let me know you're watching. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We do this live stream every week to help spread awareness of common scams. Right? These scams all target you, me, your loved ones. All target individuals. All right, and that's why we do this live stream. There's plenty of resources out there for companies and employees, but for individuals, right? There's really not. So, Scamware 101. That's what we do over here. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe. Help us spread awareness about this stuff. And we're gonna be streaming for at least another hour or two this evening. So still time to get some more people in here around to YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. Get some comments going. And it's scam season right now too. November, December is scam season. In fact, the next scam we're going to talk about here is fake road toll scams. And these fake road toll scams, these have already started picking up again. They always pick up as the holidays start approaching. They know people are traveling for holidays and are more likely to fall for this type of scam that impersonates road toll services like EasyPass, SunPass, and Fast Track, and every other toll service out there at this point they impersonate. They claim an unpaid toll is due. Victims usually are contacted by a text message or an email, and it contains a link to pay. However, the link opens a fake website designed to steal any personal or financial information entered by the victim. And these types of scams, again, they always pick up during the holidays. The scammers are well aware of holiday travel and that people are more likely to fall for this type of scam because they'll think, oh, I was traveling. I must have missed a toll. All right, but they click that link and it's not good. They get their details stolen. They get malware installed on their device. And this scam's been going around for quite a while now. We warned about it early last year and released a video about this one early last year. And at the time, they were impersonating all these services. They were already impersonating SunPass, Peach Pass, Quick Pass, Good to Go, Easy Pass, North Texas Tollway, Drive Easy Maryland, Easy Drive Massachusetts, Fast Track, just to name a few. And that was a year ago. Since then, we've seen them start impersonating the DMV of every state, the Department of Transportation in every state, any toll service that you can imagine. We've even seen them make up toll service names just to trick people. So any type of text message claiming you have a unpaid toll due, be suspicious. If you're concerned it's real, verify through official channels. Go to official websites. Don't trust links in these text messages. I'm going to share some examples of these with you. All right, so here's one example. Please pay your toll in Florida by January 22nd in order to avoid excessive late fees and potential legal action. Again, they try to scare you. Late fees, legal action. Thank you for cooperation. Wish you a pleasant holiday. And it's got that link to the fake website. But you click that link, it's going to install malware on your device or steal whatever details you provide. And notice that instruction at the bottom. Please reply yes and then reopen. Right? There's that red flag we talked about earlier. It indicates it's a scam. But there's so many variations of these fake road toll text messages. that we've seen over the course of the year. Sometimes they come from numbers outside of the country, like this uses a 6-3 country code, which is the Philippines. A lot of times we see scam texts coming from those country codes. But this one impersonates Easy Drive, Massachusetts. Reminder, your bill for $6.99 is due. Please visit. And it's a fake link. To another one. It also came from the Philippines. If your vehicle has an unpaid toll bill, to avoid excessive late fees on your bill, please settle it promptly. Thank you for your cooperation. Right? And they say it's like a $6.99 fee. The idea is they just figure, okay, it's $6.99. They want you to click on the link and, no big deal. But it is. It's a scam. They'll steal any details you enter. Also, we've seen reports of these. Right? You get this random text message. Doesn't really have any details in it, but it's got an attachment. Right? You never want to open an attachment from an unsolicited source, whether it's an email attachment or a text message attachment. Right? If you weren't expecting it, it's from somebody you didn't know, you can't trust it. If you open it, it can install something malicious on your device. It can install a virus. It can take you to a fake website. You never want to trust attachments from unsolicited text messages and emails. But if you did open this one, in this case, it would have been a notice of a toll violation, a fake notice. And then it has a link to pay now to a fake website that steals any details you enter. All right, so scammers are doing that too. They're sending out attachments like this. And this is to get past filters, right? If they had this typed up in an email or a text message, it might get blocked as a scam. But by putting it in a document, it helps them get past some of the filters too. Which is another way they use to reach you. So let's say you did click one of those fake links. Right, you could take it to a website that looks like this. It'll look legit. This is Washington State's Good to Go service. It has the logo, the color scheme. It all looks legit, right? And you click payment. It takes you here, but it steals any card details you enter. So that's important to realize that it's very easy for scammers to put up these fake websites. A lot of times they already have them ready to go. One gets taken down, they have another one ready to go. So it's always important to make sure you're on the official website and not to trust links that are in text messages like these. So that's a unpaid road toll scam. Right? We saw that occurring a lot over the past year or two at this point. But we actually saw that scam evolve into a similar scam. And that similar scam is a fake traffic ticket text message scam. It follows the same MO as a road toll scam. It's probably being done by the same organization, right? But instead of saying you missed a road toll, it says you have a traffic ticket too. Right, you can see it came from the Philippines again, right? A lot of these scam text messages come from the Philippines, that 6-3 country code. But this one says, Illinois Department of Vehicles, DMV, final notice enforcement penalties begin on July 25th. Our records show that as of today, you still have an outstanding traffic ticket. In accordance with Illinois' code, it has a fake code here, if you do not complete payment by July 24th, 2025, we will take the following actions. They say they're going to report it to DMV. They're going to suspend your vehicle registration. They're going to suspend your driving privileges. Transfer it to a toll booth and charge a 35% service fee. And they say you may be prosecuted and your credit score will also be impacted. And then they have the link to the fake website. Please pay immediately before enforcement to avoid license suspension and further legal disputes. Scary language. You can see how someone could get this and get scared, click the link, and not realize they're giving their details to a scammer. But it's very similar to the road toll scam. Whether they say you have an unpaid road toll and owe money, or you have an unpaid traffic ticket and owe money, you have to be suspicious. It's a scam. If you're concerned it's real, confirm it through official channels. Don't click the links. Don't click the links. Don't call any phone numbers that they have. Especially if you get text messages that look like this. Right now, these are scams. Like you get text messages that look like these are scams. And just to show you, this example said Illinois Department of Vehicles, but here's an identical version of that scam, except they swapped out Illinois with Nebraska. Right, so that's an example how when you see these scams popping up in one state, rest assured, they got the versions for all the states, right? Illinois, Nebraska, whatever other states, they're just swapping out the name and sending them out. Because it's a numbers game to them. They know that some people that get this message, it might not be a lot of them, but some people that do, they will be in Nebraska. And to those that receive this, is that much more believable to them, right? So it's a numbers game. You know, most people might be like, I was never in Nebraska. I was never in Illinois. Illinois is a scam right away. But the portion of people that are in Illinois or Nebraska or wherever the text message says, it's a numbers game, and the scammers know it. So be aware of those fake road toll scams, fake traffic ticket scams. You know, these examples I showed you, they were all text message versions. Those are most common versions, but just get some kind of email notification too. You know, so you gotta stay suspicious. How we doing, everybody? Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat, in the comments. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. A little quiet out there, people. A little quiet. Let me know you're out there, that I'm not talking to myself. Appreciate it. There we go. We got Johnny talking. I'm back. Had to step away for a little bit. Well, that's why it got so quiet. John was gone. That explains it. It's always strange when it's quiet, when John's supposedly around. But that explains why I was so quiet. Good to have you back, John. Make some noise. All right. And for anybody else that's just joining us, welcome to the live stream. Hit that like button, thumbs up, give us some reactions. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help us spread awareness about these scams. We're going to be going for at least another hour or so tonight. So plenty of time to invite some more friends, share this live stream, and help us spread awareness about these scams. You can join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. We'll send you reminders when we're going live, updates about scam awareness and tips. So free to join, scamaware101.com at join mailing list. Also follow us on your favorite social media platforms, YouTube, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. We're on all your favorite platforms except TikTok. We're not on TikTok. That's a story for another day. If you appreciate what we do over here, you can support our mission in a few different ways, right? You can check out our gift shop. Get yourself a Scamware 101 coffee mug. We got some travel mugs and some traditional mugs. We got water bottles and mouse pads and stickers and all good stocking stuffers. Help support our mission over here. And you can give your loved one that keeps on falling for these scams, give them some merchandise to remind them not to fall for it. So check that out in our YouTube store. We also take donations. Scamware101.com/donate. Donate directly, or we have YouTube memberships and YouTube super chats enabled as well too, or super thanks. So we'll take your dollars that way too. We appreciate it. But we'll just sell for a like and a follow. I know times are tough. The holidays are coming too. So just hit like and follow. It's free to help spread awareness, you know. Especially now. It's scam season, so it's more important than ever to make sure people are aware. You know, those last two scams that we just discussed, the road toll scams and the fake traffic ticket scams, those always pick up during the holidays because of holiday travel. You know, and that's why I say it's this scam season right now. Those are some of the scams that always pick up this time of year. So be aware of that, those, and watch out. And now this next scam we're going to talk about. That's probably why Johnny came back. He loves the wrong number scams. There are wrong number scams, right? So scammers reach new victims by sending text messages to random phone numbers. If you've ever wondered why you've gotten so many wrong number text messages before, this is why. It's a scam. All right? And the idea is when someone replies to say wrong number, the scammer attempts to continue the conversation and build a trust with the victim. And even if they don't build a trust, just getting a reply, the scammer knows the number's active and will target you more. Just replying back and saying wrong number or no, it's not me or who is this, that lets them know that your number's active and to target it even more. Right? And it's known as a wrong number scam. It's a way for these scammers to reach new victims. And often what happens is once they reach these new victims and they start getting a conversation going, the scam then evolves. It evolves into a romance scam or a pig butchering scam to steal money from the victim. And it all starts from a simple wrong number text message. And that's known as a wrong number scam. And we did a video about this scam. It's actually our most popular video. We received over 100,000 views on this video. It's on our YouTube channel here. A wrong number scam video. It's loading a little slow here. Not sure why. There we go. But yeah, we have a wrong number scam video right here. 101K views. Right, so it's the most popular video, went viral. Lots of comments, but it's about wrong number scams because such a common thing right now, right? So these wrong number scams. Let's talk about how they work. So you get a random message. And it could be something as simple as, "Excuse me, is this Emma?" Or, "Hey Anna, I'm Josie." Or it could just start from some random number that says hi, right? Because the idea is the scammer just wants you to initially they're just trying to get a reply at first, right? Whether it's a reply that says wrong number or who is this, right? That's their first goal, is to get a reply, right? So even replying to these is enough to fall into the trap of these scammers. All right, so it can start off with any random, innocent enough sounding message, and at first you don't know if it's a real wrong number or not, right? So really, my advice is don't even reply to any of these. Even if you're not sure if it's a scam or not, don't even reply. Even if it's a real, legit wrong number, right? They'll figure it out. Right? It's not worth replying. 99% of the time it's going to be a scammer, so it's just not worth replying to these wrong numbers, right? But if you did reply, let me show you how some of these conversations might go. Also, by the way, all these examples, they are in our wrong number video that we have. So if you want to share this with a loved one, warn a loved one, we have a video specifically about these wrong number scams on our YouTube channel. But anyway, here's one example, right? It starts with a completely random message. "I'm Margaret, aren't you Lillian?" Right? Person replies back, "I'm Izzy." Right? Scammer says, "I'm really sorry. I think I made a mistake between your number and Lillian's number when saving. I hope I didn't disturb your good day." Right? The person replies back, "That's okay." Right? Again, at this point, conversation should end. Right? It's been established there's a wrong number. There's no reason to continue. Right? But since it's a scam, the scammer's going to continue. "Thank you for your understanding and patience. You're a kind person. I hope you have a good day today. I'm 36 years old. Would you mind telling me your age?" Right? Because that's what these scammers are going to do. They're going to try to get information about you. Your name, your age, and your location. All right, let's take a look at another example. "Have a cup of coffee together sometime." Right? So a person replies back, "Who is this?" Right? Well, that was part of the trick, right? They wanted you to reply back, "Who is this?" So the reply back, "I thought it was my friend Laura. I'm Zoe." Right? "Yeah, wrong number." Okay. Conversation should be over. It's established as a wrong number. Right? But the scammer keeps going. They go into a story. "I'm sorry. I thought this was Laura's number. I think I dialed the wrong number or area code. Hope I'm not bothering you." Right? Person replies back, "No, you're good. Have a great day." Again, conversation should end. But because it's a scam, it continues. "Thank you for your kindness in my situation. I just realized I entered the wrong area code. Where are you from?" Right? So this example asks where you're from. Right? The last example asks the age. Just want to ask where you're from. And eventually you're going to ask all those questions. You're going to ask your name. If you're married, you're going to ask all this stuff about you. Let me show you another example. Now let me know in the chat if you've received these wrong number text messages. I feel like everybody's gotten them, gets them. We got a lot of comments, a lot of reactions and responses to this video we did on these. So it's very common to get these wrong number text message scams. So in this example, just start out with hi, right? It could be as simple as a random message that says hi, right? And then you reply back, "Who is this?" Well, you fell into the first trap. Now I know you got an active number, right? Then the scammer continues. "I'm Karina. Are you David? We met last week at Linda's party," right? Reply back, "Sorry, you have the wrong number." Okay, again, conversation should end. It doesn't because it's a scammer. "Oh my gosh, I checked and found out I entered the wrong area code. I hope this doesn't bother you." That's okay, no problem. Again, conversation should end. It doesn't. "Thank you very much. You are a very friendly and polite person. I hope we could be friends. Nice to meet you. My name is Karina. What can I call you?" We replied back, "Pat. You have a beautiful name. I am from Malaysia and currently living in Los Angeles. Where do you live?" Right? So they go through this. What's your name? Where you live? How old are you? Eventually, they're going to ask you to to continue the conversation on WhatsApp. Right? We talked about that red flag. So again, this is known as a wrong number scam. And you'd be surprised. You might think like, well, who would fall for that? But people fall for it. People are yearning for connection. And then they get a random text message, right? One more example. Sometimes they'll even include a picture. Right? So we get this message, hi Byron, I'm Jane, right? And then it has a picture. Could this be a real person that exists out there? Maybe. Maybe it's a stolen picture. It could also be AI. That's the thing. These scammers now, they used to have to steal pictures from people. Right? And you could go usually do a reverse lookup, and sometimes you could track down, oh, this picture's been used by other people. Right? But now, because of AI, these scammers, they could just generate an AI image. And you're not going to find the image anywhere else. Right? So, is it a real person? Who knows? Is it AI? Maybe. Could be. But basically, you can see that you get this random text message. Hi, Byron, I'm Jane. And they include the picture. A little incentive to reply, right? Didn't reply. And 4 hours later, there's a follow-up text. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right? 4 hours on the dot. Right? So the initial message comes in at 1:58. We don't reply. And at 5:58, 4 hours on the dot, there's a follow-up. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right? So I point that out for a couple of reasons. Look, this is a bot. This isn't even a real person. Right? When you get these wrong number scams, right? This isn't somebody sitting there sending out wrong number text after wrong number text. Right? This is a bot. It's programmed to send the same message and the same follow-up messages. What's your name? Where are you from? How old are you? Right? It's a bot. It's sending the same messages to thousands and thousands and thousands of phone numbers. Right? And in this case, it's programmed where if you didn't reply, 4 hours later, it's programmed to send a follow-up. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right? So you're not even dealing with a real person until once the information's gathered, eventually a scammer's going to take over. Right? But initially, this is just software and bots just sending out these text messages to all these random numbers. And it's a numbers game. They know some people are going to bite. Some people are going to reply. And then out of those people, some people are going to engage even more. Right? So be aware of this one. Again, we had a video about this scam on our YouTube channel. Got over 101,000 views so far. Lots of comments on that video. Lots of the comments confirm, hey, I received a text message, exact same picture, saying the exact same thing. Right? So be aware of these wrong number scams. Don't fall for them. They usually evolve into some kind of like pig butchering scam. That's an investment type scam. Or a romance scam. How are we all doing out there? Let me know you're watching. Johnny says TikTok are haters. That's right, they are haters. I tried to create a TikTok account for Scamware 101 and they banned me before I even posted anything. I think they just saw the name, the word scam in the name, and they banned me. It was pretty bad. So I didn't even get to post anything. I don't even think I created a profile description or anything. I just kind of created an account, and then a week later I went to go work on it, and it was like, you're banned. Tried disputing it. They don't care. It's crazy. But hey, it's like they want scams on TikTok, so it doesn't surprise me that they are keeping me off it. So that's my TikTok story. And for a while, it looked like when they were going to get shut down, I was like, haha, that's what they get. They banned me, and now they're getting banned from America. But it didn't work out. So anyway, I digress. Scams are everywhere. It's important to be aware of them. If you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. Our mission here is to spread awareness of common scams, target individuals just like you, like me. We are hitting our second hour here. We started streaming at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. It is now 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, so we'll be going for 2 hours. We usually go for at least 3 hours, so we've got about another hour left. Lots of good stuff to continue covering here as far as scams go. And this next batch is a fun batch of scams to go over. But you know what? I think I'm going to switch it up a little bit right now. We're going to do QR code scams first. Yeah, we'll do QR code scams first. we'll do the second and final coffee break. At 7:55. Awesome. Then 8 o'clock, we're going to go over some more of those common scams. All right, cool. We got some good stuff still coming up here. This next batch of scams we're going to discuss is actually QR code scams. All right, so the first QR code scam we're going to talk about, and let me just preface this a little bit. QR code scams, what are they, right? Well, thanks to COVID, everybody kind of knows how to use these QR codes now. Oh, it's like, hey, what's up, Clipper? You want my CC number? Sure. That's funny. What's up, Clipper? Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Yeah, that goes without saying, folks. Never give your credit card number away to a stranger. Credit card, bank account number, Medicare number. We're going to talk about Medicare scams a little bit too. All right, Clipper is fishing me into YouTube channel. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming to the live stream. Like, subscribe, and follow, my friend.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Oh, my Amazon just thought, my Alexa just thought I said something. But anyway, all right, so let's talk about QR code scams. So thanks to COVID, it kind of brought QR codes, scanning them on a phone, into mainstream popularity, right? So everybody kind of learned how to scan these QR codes. They were kind of forced to. You go to a restaurant, you'd have to scan a QR code. Everything was kind of hands-free in a lot of places. So a lot of people learned how to use QR codes that didn't before. And it was already pretty mainstream before then, but really that kind of really made it mainstream, you know. So now these QR codes, they kind of brought new life into these traditional paper scams, right? So, and what I mean by that is, for example, you know, here's a postcard offering you a free wireless Bluetooth earbuds, right? It's a postcard. You will receive it in the mail, okay? These type of scams started becoming a little less common as the internet, you know, started taking over everything, right? But now, because of QR codes, this scam is kind of revived. It's back out there because they slap a QR code on their traditional scam. It makes it much easier to get somebody onto these fake websites, right? So you get a postcard like this offering you a free wireless Bluetooth earbuds, right? And it has a QR code to scan. Don't trust it, right? Don't trust it. In this case, if you scan the code, at least according to the person that provided this example, it's going to capture your personal details. It's going to try to get your name, address, your Amazon account information, and even your credit card number. All right, so you get these random postcards offering you free gifts with a QR code. Be suspicious, you know, and that goes for any QR code that you see in public. We now know that these scammers, what they do is they'll take their malicious QR code, they'll put it on a sticker, right, and then they put these stickers out in public on top of legit QR codes, right? So an example of that would be this next one, like a parking meter. So I'm just getting the example out here for you. Right, so we were warned recently by the BBB. Double check that QR code before you pay for parking. Right, and it says QR codes are everywhere. Signs, ads, menus, and even scams. BBB Scam Tracker has a report about a scam that involves fraudulent QR codes on parking lots, and the FTC has reported on this type of QR fraud as well. This time, scammers use them to steal parking fees and collect credit card information. It's the flip side of this parking ticket scam, right? So what happens is you're going to park. A lot of these parking meters now, they all, you know, have an app to pay through, have a QR code to scan, right? Well, what's happened is these scammers, they put their own QR code on top of the parking meter's QR code. So you scan that QR code, you think you're paying for parking, you're actually on a fake website that the scammer created, and you're giving your credit card details or bank details or whatever payment details to the scammer instead. And on top of that, right, you walk away thinking your parking's paid, you come back from dinner, and you got a parking ticket too. So not only did your payment details get stolen, but now you have an actual parking ticket that you have to pay. All right, so when you're scanning QR codes in public, it's important to make sure they don't look like they were tampered with. Important to check that there's no sticker on top of it. Right? And like I said, we see it all the time now in signs, ads, menus. So watch out for these parking meters, QR code scams. Let me know if you've encountered that. And let me know some other QR code scams here in the chat too. I want to hear from you. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I'm monitoring the comments in the chat, so tell us what your stories are. I want to hear from you. Sticking on the theme of parking, this next QR code scam example. Fake parking tickets. Right, it's how funny is you go to pay for parking at the meter and you scan a fake QR code, right? And then you come back and then you got a fake parking ticket too on top of it. I guess a fake parking ticket would be better than a real one. But here's an example of these fake parking tickets that people are finding left on their windshield, actual paper parking tickets. This example is from Houston, city of Houston, but there were reports coming in from cities all over. I think Denver was another city, and many other big cities having the same issue. Out here in Florida, I actually heard that this is happening over in like Delray Beach and Miami and those areas, right? So watch out for these fake parking tickets being left on people's windshields. And what happens is it's covered in this example that we have here, but they have a QR code on them to scan that take it to a fake website. You think you're paying a parking ticket, but it's actually a scam. All right, so you get these parking tickets with QR codes on them. Make sure that they're real. Verify through official channels. Be aware that this is happening. This is a scam. You know how many people probably think, oh, I got a parking violation, just scan it, pay it, and they don't even realize that they were scammed. They just go on with their life, not realizing that some scammer just got $90 or $125 out of them. Or actually, my bad. Some scammer stole their payment details, right? Because once you do this, you're not just going to get charged $90 or $125. Scammers actually going to steal all your payment details and use it like crazy. So don't fall for it. Be aware of it. Lots of QR code scams. They're getting more and more clever. And the thing about these QR code scams too is, these examples are all real life, like examples out in the wild, right? Physical examples that you would see and touch, right? But QR codes, they're being used in emails, text messages. The scammers will use QR codes because they'll bypass the filters sometimes, right? The email filters and the spam filters. So you need to be suspicious of all QR codes, unfortunately. So be aware of it. Scammers are using these. The best QR code is one that you don't have to scan, right? And tell you what, I'm going to use mine as an example here because I have a donate QR code that comes up on the screen, right? So I understand it's ironic. I'm sitting here talking against QR codes, but I'm going to use my QR code as an example, right? You don't have to scan my donate QR code because right above it, I have the URL, the website address there for you, scamaware101.com/donate, right? So sure, you could scan the QR code, but you don't have to. You go directly to the website. I put it right there. You could bypass the QR code completely, and that's how it should be, right? That's how the only QR codes that you could trust are the ones that you don't even have to scan. You have it says the link right above it. You just go directly to the website, right? And you avoid trusting the QR code altogether. Right, that's my advice. If they don't have the link shown there, at least make sure to preview the link. Like when you scan the QR code, a lot of these apps, they let you preview the link first. At least preview the link, look at it, and see if it looks like it's a legit website that's going to go to. But watch out with these QR codes. Scanning QR codes is the same thing as clicking on links, right? You have to be careful with clicking on links, especially when they're from someone you don't trust or never used before. Same thing with QR codes. You got to be careful with which ones you trust and use. So keep that in mind. QR code scams, we're seeing more and more of them. All right, everybody, let me know if you're here. Let me know if you're still watching. we got about another hour left or so. It's time for our second coffee break of the evening and final coffee break. We only take 2 quick 5-minute breaks during the live stream, which is reasonable because we usually go for 3 or 4 hours, right? So gotta stay caffeinated for my people out there. So we're gonna go on our second 5-minute break real quick. Still plenty of time to hit that like button, get some more people here. Lots of good stuff coming up, as you could see on the list of scams that we're still gonna be discussing. So we're going to be back in 5 minutes. And as usual, I'm going to play our theme song for you.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scammer entries. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, betting wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. World 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, leave you broken instead. Stay woke, my people, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.
All right. We gotta keep going here. All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. And we do this live stream every week to spread awareness of common scams that target individuals. Scams that target you, me, your friends, family, your loved ones. Look, we're being targeted from all directions. Emails, phone calls, text messages, even regular traditional postal service mail. Right? These scammers, they're attacking us from everywhere. And it's important to be aware what scams are circulating and the tactics they're using and the red flags to identify these scams. So that's why we're here, right? We create these videos, we create content, we share it on our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and we just try to spread awareness of these scams. And this live stream that we're doing here is one of the ways that we do that. So every week, 5:45 p.m. Eastern, we get started. And we're just rounding out our 2 hours and 15 minutes in here. So we're going to be going for probably about another hour or so. Still lots of good stuff coming up. We're going to go over some more common scams here, as you can see on the agenda list on the screen. So if you're just joining us, make sure to join our free mailing list over on scamaware101.com. Join mailing list. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips, reminders about when we're going live. Nothing excessive. You can unsubscribe if you want, but really we're not going to send you a lot of junk mail. We'll just send you useful stuff, reminders and scam alerts, all important stuff to be aware of. So join that free mailing list, scamaware101.com. You can follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and YouTube. So make sure to like, follow, and subscribe there. It really does help get the word out about these scams. And we also take your donations too. Scamaware101.com/donate. You can donate directly. Always appreciate that. And we have memberships and super thanks enabled over on YouTube as well. So if you prefer that, you could help out financially that way. We'll always take it and we appreciate it. Put it towards our mission here, spreading awareness. Also, you could visit our gift shop or our YouTube store for some merch that we have available here, including my Scamware 101 travel mug here. You see it right there on your screen too. We have some water bottles, coffee mugs, mouse pads, stickers, right? Great stocking stuffers, and great gifts for the holidays, especially for those loved ones that fall for scams all the time. Yeah, Johnny says he's signed up and he likes the weekly reminder about the live stream. Yep, so that's pretty much all I'm really sending out now. And then every now and then we send out some warnings. Like we're going to be sending out an email for the holidays, warning about the holiday scams coming up. But nothing too excessive though, right? We just want to keep people in the loop, and it's the best way to remind people about what we're doing over here. The free mailing list, and like John said, it's not bad, and gives you some reminders. So join that free mailing list, scamware101.com, and scoop up some merch for the holidays. Give it to the loved one. Hey John, if you know anybody that falls for scams, any family or friends that fall for scams, these might be some great stocking stuffers for them. Go check it out. Hey Liz, welcome. Good to see you. Cool. All right. Well, we're going to keep on going here. So, like I mentioned earlier, right now it's scam season, right? The holidays are coming. The scams are always picking up during this time of year. We talked about some specific scams to watch out for already, especially with Thanksgiving coming up and then all the holidays after that in December, right? Everybody's traveling for the holidays, right? So you got to watch out for those fake road toll text messages, those fake traffic ticket text messages, right? Don't fall for those. Those are some holiday scams that always increase, right? Well, so does this one. And this is an undeliverable package scam. We're already seeing increased reports about this one, and this one always picks up during the holidays. People are always sending and receiving more packages at this time of year, so they're more likely to fall for this type of scam, and scammers know that. So, undeliverable package scams is when victims receive fake notifications about undeliverable packages and are asked to click a link to resolve it. Right? But the link opens a fake website, it impersonates UPS, FedEx, USPS, and any personal and financial details entered get stolen. Right? So a lot of times they'll say, there's been an issue with your delivery, click here to pay a redelivery fee of $3, right? It's all made up, but what happens, you click that link, you put in your payment details, and the scammers steal whatever you put in there. Any credit card details or debit card details, they get stolen, right? And we have a few examples of this scam to share with you here, but it's important to recognize right off the bat, though, UPS, FedEx, USPS, they do not send out text message alerts like this, right? So if you get some kind of random text message that says there's a package that couldn't be delivered, it's a scam. If you didn't request an update about a specific package that you were expecting, you will not get a text message like this. So if you receive a text message, it's a scam. It's not legit. It's not from FedEx. It's not from UPS. They do not send text messages out like these. That's important to be aware of. So you get these text messages, rest assured they're a scam. All right, and here's a few examples. This one impersonates UPS. UPS ground, reschedule your shipment delivery. We attempted to deliver your UPS package on June 23rd, right? This one's a good example. It has a little grammar error there, right? It says June 23rd, right? 23th instead of 23RD. So you get a text message like that at all. It's a good indicator, a red flag. All right. Hey, Scam Baiter Ace JC. Cool. Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Love to hear some of your stories. Sounds like you're having some fun out there baiting the scammers. Hey, get in touch with me. Maybe we'll do some collabs. But anyway, yeah. So these undeliverable package scams, right? This example has a little grammar error, which is nice, right? Because that's always a red flag. But unfortunately, you can't always count on that anymore. They use AI, and a lot of spelling and grammar is all correct now these days. But you do see it's red flag. But anyway, they continue. We attempted to deliver your UPS package on the 23rd, but were unable to contact you, and the delivery could not be completed. Your package needs to be signed for in person, so please reschedule the delivery by doing the following, right? And then it has a link to fake website, right? Again, there's another example of how they put ups.com into the website name, but it's not really ups.com, right? Fun little internet fact. Anything before the @ sign gets ignored when you're visiting the website. Right, so this is actually would go to packages-board.cc. Right, the UPS part would actually get ignored. So it's a trick they use to make it look like it's it really is UPS, but it's not. All right, so be aware of that one. A couple more examples of this undeliverable package scam, because again, it's scam season. We're gonna start seeing them a lot right now. All right, due to invalid address, you have a package that needs to be delivered, but it has been suspended due to incorrect delivery address. If you do not update your address before 24 hours, your package will be returned to sender. Right, and then it has the fake link to click. All right, here's another one. This is a group text message, right? And they named the group chat or group text to USPS, just to make it kind of seem a little bit more believable, right? So somebody gets to be like, wow, it says USPS across the top. Maybe this really is right? But it's a scam, and that's a tactic that they use. Here's another example. There's a text message that has an attachment. And it impersonates USPS. They put their logo in there. Your package has arrived at the distribution facility, but we are unable to deliver it due to incomplete address information. Please click on the HTML file above to update your address. Mentioned this earlier for some earlier examples that I was showing you, but any unsolicited attachments, that come in from a text message or an email, any files that are attached to these communications that you weren't expecting and they came from somebody you didn't know, do not open it. Do not click on it. Right, these attachments, worst case, they can install malware on your device and infect your system with a virus, but even at the best case, it's going to try to take you to a fake website to steal your details, right? So never open attachments from unknown sources and attachments that you weren't expecting. Very important, whether it's a text message or an email, right? And in this case, if you did open it, what it would do is it would take it to a fake website. And the fake website might look like this. Right. Again, you always need to remember that these scammers, they put up these fake websites. It's no big deal to them, right? They have one ready to go after next. They have multiple ones up. They look legit, right? And this is an example. He has USPS's color theme, right? It's got their logo. Like, this looks like it could look like a legit website, right? They put a fake tracking number there, right? But any details you enter, they'll get stolen. So it's very important that when you get these text messages claiming that you have a package that couldn't be delivered and the click here, right? Don't trust them. Don't trust them. And again, UPS, FedEx, USPS, they'll never send out text messages like these. So you don't even have to wonder if they're real or not, right? You could just know that these are scams, right? So definitely keep that in mind. Be aware of that. Undeliverable package scams. We see them a lot during the holidays. We're already seeing more and more reports coming in about these, as expected. So don't fall for it. Make sure your loved ones are aware not to fall for it too. Here's a fun little headline, though. I have this story saved from last year. I like to share this article regarding these undeliverable package scams. This was published in Wired News last year, August 2024, so a little over a year ago. Right, but it's a fun little story. I count it as a win, right? USPS text scammers duped his wife, so he hacked their operation, right? So this lady got fooled by one of these scams, and her husband, I guess, was an IT guy, and he goes, I'm going to hack the operation that fooled my wife with these undeliverable package scams, right? So he ended up hacking the criminals behind that specific case. Who knows how many other organizations are out there doing this scam, but In his case, he hacked into their system, and he found out some fascinating details, which is also, it kind of gives you an idea of what these organizations are capable of, right? So first of all, this was a Chinese language-based smishing triad group, is what they refer to that as. Right? So it's a Chinese language-based group that was behind this specific scam. Again, could be plenty of other groups doing the same scam, but in this case, it was a Chinese language-based triad criminal organization, right? So he also discovered that they were sending out, right, 100,000 scam text messages per day, right? 100,000 scam text messages, right? So that kind of gives you an idea of what these scammers are capable of. And that's only one organization. One organization was sending out 100,000 scam texts per day, right? How many other organizations are out there, right? Let's say at least 10, right? That's 1 million scam text messages going out per day. And this was a year ago. So I'm sure they're even capable of more now. So that's important to be aware of. You never want to think, oh, they'll never target me. They'll never target my... They're just sending out hundreds of thousands of scam text messages and phone numbers every day. Eventually they're going to hit yours, right? Or they're eventually going to hit your loved ones, your friends, your family. So you need to be aware of this. Some other details that he found out. People entered 438,669 unique credit cards, right? So these undeliverable package scammers, these scammers impersonating UPS, FedEx, USPS, this one group that was doing it, right? They had almost 500,000 unique credit cards that were stolen from victims, right? It says most people entered multiple credit cards, but still, 500,000 credit cards entered by victims, right? So that tells you why these scammers do this. It's lucrative, right? They're 500,000 unique credit cards. Let's say that to win if you're a scammer, right? So they're going to keep on doing it. 50,000 email addresses were logged, including university email addresses and military or government email addresses. So look, everybody was falling for this scam. Military people, government people. All right, so anyway, he found out all these fascinating details about this organization, at least in this scam that they were running. It just gives you an idea of what they're capable of. 100,000 scam text messages per day being sent out. They had almost 500,000 credit cards stolen from victims. Everybody's falling for it. Government, military, right? So that's why they're doing what they're doing. But back to the original topic, watch out for those undeliverable package scams, right? There's no reason you should click a link or trust any type of text message that says you have a package that's undeliverable. Also, another thing regarding this type of scam. So we just shared a bunch of text message versions of this scam. But last year, there was another version of this undeliverable package scam that was floating around, and it was an email version of it. And we were the only, Scamware 101 was the only organization to actually report on this email version of this scam. We did a video about it. You could go find the video on our YouTube channel from when we actually did it, from the date that we uploaded it. But nobody else reported on this specific email version of the undeliverable scam. And even the screenshots that I took of this, nobody else shared screenshots of this scam anywhere. So we were the first and, probably only up until now, one to report on this scam as far as I know. Or at least this version of the scam. And this was last year, right? So November 16th, 2024, email comes in, FedEx logo, we're sorry, your package appears to be delayed, right? It's an undeliverable package scam. Right? We regret to inform you that there's been an issue with the delivery of your recent FedEx shipment. We understand how frustrating this could be, and we're actively investigating what happened to ensure we provide the best possible resolution. As an apology, we'd like to offer you a compensation product of up to $100 in value. And it has a button, get your compensation now, right? This is another version of an undeliverable package scam. It's impersonating FedEx, right? And that was November 16th. But then November 22nd, UPS. Same scam, has a UPS logo, clearly from using the same scam kit at least, right? We understand how frustrating this could be. Click here, get your compensation now. They're offering a product. So the text message version, it just tried to steal payment details for redelivery fee, right? This email version, this is a different twist on it where they're offering you a compensation product, right? And again, look at similarities, right? You could tell this is the same scammers, right? Using the same kit. It's just they try to hit you with FedEx, they try to hit you with UPS. And what happens is if you click on that link to get your compensation product, it takes you to a fake website, which I'll share with you momentarily, right? But this is just an example of if you get a scam attempt through a text message, there's probably an email version too. And if you get a scam through email, there's probably a text message version as well, right? So no method of communication is really safer than the other. Scammers are getting creative. Watch out for this specific scam. Look, this one popped up last year, the 16th and the 22nd of November. So we're literally right in between that. We're on November 20th right now, right? So this scam is probably out there again right now. People are probably getting targeted with it right now. Once we reported on it, literally like a week later, suddenly the sites disappeared. The scam stopped, which was good, but they went into hiding, and I think it's just going to pop up again. Array is probably out there right now targeting people. So be aware of this email version of an undeliverable package scam offering you a compensation product, right? UPS, FedEx, any of those, they don't offer you compensation products, especially worth $100, right? It'd be nice if they did, because we'd all have tons of compensation products, but they don't. So this is a scam. Don't fall for it, right? Undeliverable package scams, whether it's a text message or an email. And again, these pick up during the holidays. It's scam season right now. We're going to see more and more of these popping up over the next 2 months. So be aware. Don't fall for them. Now you know what you think. You've been targeting with those lately? Have you seen those popping up lately? I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments, in the chat. You know, work together to spread awareness, right? I want to hear your stories and know what you've been getting targeted with. But let's continue here. And by the way, if you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. You join our free mailing list on my Alexa keeps thinking I'm talking to it. It's pretty funny. If you go to scamware101.com, you can join our free mailing list. I'll just send you reminders when we're going live and some useful scam awareness tips. So check that out. And while you're there, make sure to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Our mission here is just to spread awareness of these scams. Right? We want to get this information out there to people. Too many people are losing their retirement funds, their life savings. We're not talking about scams where they just take $100 from you, $200. We're talking about scams where they clear out your funds. They want to take everything you got. They don't care if you're retired. They don't care if you're disabled. They don't care if you're a military vet. Everybody's getting scammed out there. And once they scam you, it's very hard to recover those funds. So they take everything from you, and it's very hard to get it back. Right? So awareness is how you stop it. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And we're trying to get the information out there. So you could help. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow. We have super thanks and memberships enabled over on YouTube. We always appreciate that. You can donate, scamware101.com/donate. We appreciate it all, but even just the likes, follow, subscribes, that also helps get the word out, So let's continue, though. Those were a couple holiday scams to be aware of. The undeliverable package scam. And the next one that we're going to talk about is also another one to be aware of for the holidays. Especially now with Black Friday coming up. That's fake retail website scams, right? So look, fake retail websites are up all year round. So you have to be careful all year round when you're ordering things from websites that you haven't used before that seem to have too good to be true offers, right? These fake retail websites are around all year long. But during the holidays, during scam season, right now, November, December, with Black Friday coming up and all the Christmas and all that coming up in December, right? These fake retail websites, they're going to start popping up like crazy, more than usual. You're going to start seeing all these amazing offers popping up, right? Just pay shipping and get this $200 gift, right? Too good to be true, be suspicious. And here's some examples. Well, first of all, scammers create fake websites to sell products that are never delivered. Right? Or they'll send you a counterfeit, low-quality one. But in most cases, you're not going to get anything. These fake websites, right? They're designed to steal your payment details, your personal information. Right? Victims are lured in by unbeatable deals, and they lose money once they pay. And these scams often target holiday shoppers or those seeking trending items. Right? So you're going to start seeing these pop-ups or these offers for these items that might be hard to find. And they seem like great deals. And, wow, this is great. It's too good to be true. And but you have to be careful. If it's some website you never used before or never heard of before, you don't see any reviews about it, and nobody knows about it, be suspicious. And some examples I'm going to share with you right now, these are real examples, and these are, again, from last year on this exact date. So these are exactly a year old. In fact, that previous scam we just showed you, that undeliverable package email offering a compensation product, right? That actually links. These are examples where if you clicked get compensation product, they would have bought you here, right? But I'm using them as a example for these fake retail website scams. But this is a continuation. If you had clicked that get your compensation product, these are the pages that would have taken you to, and the products that I would have offered you. Right, so, and you see we got the fake Black Friday sale banner across the top. Right, I'm telling you, these are probably up right now somewhere. You know, the same scam from last year. They put them up during Black Friday and took it down. But they're probably up again. But this case is offering a Tech Rift wireless headphones. Normally $175. But just cover shipping. Right, $8.95. But it's a scam. Any shipping information you enter, any payment details you enter, it's going to be stolen by the scammer. You're never going to receive the item. And you're going to get charged a lot more than $8.95. Here's another one. All part of the same scam. Has the same banner across the top. It's a portable heater. Just pay shipping. But again, it's a scam. You put your details in, your payment details, they all get stolen. And you'll never get the portable heater. And this other example here. Wireless earbuds. Right? This one says save $175. Just pay $8.69. But it's a scam. And notice how they have the wireless earbuds here in the example we shared earlier, that postcard free item scam. You know, it's this thing. Remember, I'm going to bring it up just as an example here. Now, remember this example from earlier about the postcard with the QR code scam offering the wireless Bluetooth earbuds? Those were a hot item. They probably still are a hot item, but for a while those were a very popular item the last few years, right? So scammers pay attention to stuff. So that's why you're seeing it used on this snail mail postcard QR code version of a scam. You know, get your free wireless Bluetooth earbuds. Who doesn't want wireless Bluetooth earbuds, right? Well, that's why they use the same item on this webpage right here. This fake retail website. Here's your free wireless earbuds. You know, it's a popular item. Scammers know it, and they use it in their various scams. But again, your details get stolen. So look, you need to be careful about these fake retail websites, especially during holidays. Right now, scam season. You got to be careful, right? Don't order from websites that you've never heard of before. If you're going to risk it, see if anybody's left reviews about these websites. In the case of these sites, when I did the research and we reported about this, none of the websites, they had multiple domains involved, right? None of them showed up in search results. They were purchased for the sole purpose of launching during Black Friday. There were no reviews. They weren't even showing up in the Google search results yet, right? So the point of me telling you that is finding no reviews and finding no information is just as bad as finding bad reviews and bad details about a site, right? Both are suspicious. Finding no details, that's suspicious, as well as finding bad reviews, right? So, and then if you're going to risk it, I mean, I don't even want to, look, my advice is don't do it at all, right? But if you're going to risk it, use a credit card with a low limit on it, or a virtual card. If you can generate a virtual card, that's a good tip actually. So some companies let you generate virtual credit cards. Capital One is one of those, and there's a few others, but I know Capital One is one of those, and they let you generate virtual credit cards. And what you could do is you could set a limit on the card, you could set an expiration date on the card, and you could say, okay, so I think this is a scam, let me use a virtual credit card to at least be safe, right? And then at least they can't use it for, you know, at least they can't clear you out. And then because it's a credit card, not a debit card, because a credit card, you do have a little leverage as far as with the credit card company disputing it, right? But look, my advice is don't, if an offer sounds too good to be true, don't trust it. And let me talk about a few ways that you might end up on one of these scam websites, right? Advertisements on social media, like Facebook, for example. Look, scammers can purchase advertisements just like anybody else. You see an ad pop up, free wireless earbuds, just pay shipping, right? Look, it can be purchased by a scammer. There's nothing stopping them. So be suspicious. Just because you see an ad on social media, it doesn't mean you can trust it. Search engine results, right? These scammers, they purchase sponsored search engine listings in Google. They put websites up to get on page number one. They're optimized. Like, they know how to do this stuff, right? And they can purchase these listings on Google just like anybody else. So you're searching for these wireless earbuds, and your result comes up, wow, free, just pay shipping, right? Be suspicious. It could be a scammer. Right? If it's too good to be true, it could be a scammer. All right. And then Look, emails, right? You're just getting an email offering you, free gift, valued customer, or like the FedEx emails we just showed. The FedEx and UPS ones offering you a free product, right? Emails. So scammers, they can send out fake emails that look like companies and vendors. They impersonate whoever they want. We get them all the time, right? So you gotta be suspicious of emails too. Those are like the main ways. Ads, banner ads, pop-ups while you're browsing the internet, right? Just there's many ways that you could end up on these fake retail websites. So before you even think about entering your payment details and personal details, be sure that you trust the website that you're on, especially if the offer sounds too good to be true. Be careful. Right. So again, that's fake retail websites. Important to be aware of those, especially during the holidays. There's another example of these scams that pick up during the holidays. What do you all think? Let me know in the chat how we're doing out there. Lots of holiday tips, as far as scams that pick up. We talked about the undeliverable package scams. They become more popular during the holidays. We talked about the fake retail website scams. They're more popular during the holidays. Those fake traffic ticket and fake unpaid toll scams, right? Because of holiday travel. All these pick up during the holidays. So it's super important to be aware of these over the next couple months especially. You with me, folks? And let me know. Have you guys seen an increase too? Like I keep saying, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments and in the chat if you've seen an increase of these scams recently. The reports are definitely increasing. There's definitely an increase in reports. So if you haven't seen an increase, at least be aware. Don't expect it. Be on alert. All right, this next scam we're going to talk about. Grandparent scams. These are one of those scams that really gets to me. I think they get to most people that have at least some kind of morals instilled in them. But this type of scam is called a grandparent scam because it literally targets your grandparents or your parents, but it targets your grandparents for the most part. And it actually uses you or the child and the child or grandchild as the bait, right? So how this works is scammers impersonate a distressed relative, claiming to have been arrested and needing financial help. Right? Victims, usually seniors, act quickly to assist their loved ones. The scammers will often impersonate law enforcement, court personnel, and lawyers to extract even more money from the victim. Right? And again, this is another example of one of these scams that they want to take everything that this person has. One of the reasons they impersonate all these different agencies is just because first they impersonate law enforcement and they say, oh, you got to pay this. Then they impersonate court personnel and say, you got to pay this. Then they impersonate lawyers and say, you got to pay this. And they just keep going until your parent or your grandparent has nothing left, right? And they think they're helping you. They think you're in trouble and you're locked up and in jail. But they're actually getting scammed and losing everything in real time. Right, so it's very important that the older folks out there that have grandkids and kids to be aware of this type of scam. All right, so whether you're the grandparent or the parent who's watching right now, be aware if you get a call like this. Right, and we're actually going to play a video for you in a minute. That's really going to clarify what that phone call is like. But if you're the parent or grandparent in this situation, be aware of this scam that targets you. And if you're the child or grandchild in this situation, let your parent and grandparents know about this type of scam so they're aware of what to do if they're targeted by this type of scam. Because again, this is one of those scams where the scammers, they want to take everything from that loved one of yours, right? Maybe they even have some inheritance saved up for you. Well, the scammer's going to try to get his hands on that too, right? Because like I said, they want to take everything. So, and the thing about these grandparent scams is we know that they're coming out of places like the Dominican Republic. I think there was a report where they came out of Canada. And look, they're coming out of all over the place, right? And a video we have here to share with you is actually of a scammer, and he's known as an opener, right? And what the opener does is he's the one that calls the victim and he initiates the scam. He opens it up. He does the initial impersonation and telling them what's going on, right? And then what he does is he hands off to closers who are trained to how to get money from the victim, right? So this guy opens the scam, gets the victim hooked, and he says, stand by, and he transfers them over to closers, right? So these are teams that work together to try and scam you. And this video that I'm going to show you right now, or momentarily at least, I'll get positions right. So this video I'm going to play for you right now, this was actually captured by a YouTuber, and I encourage you to check out his channel and check out the full video. This is just a small clip of that video. Go check out the full video. The full video is great. He confronts the scammer, but basically, this is from a YouTuber. His name, he goes by Scam Sandwich, right? So definitely go check out his YouTube channel if you want to see the full video. Again, his YouTube channel is Scam Sandwich. And what he did is he actually hacked into this scammer's computer, and he watched him through the webcam. And we have a recording of this scammer who he initiates a grandparent scam, targeting a victim with a grandparent scam. Again, this is the guy who opens the scam. So I'm going to play this for you so you can see exactly how this scam gets opened and how victims get tricked into thinking that their loved ones need help. And if you've ever wondered where it's like, well, I would know if somebody was impersonating my daughter, my granddaughter, right, and calling me, watch this video and maybe you can understand why somebody might fall for something like this. Right? Because the first 20 seconds, he's just acting like a distressed loved one. It could really be anybody. And then he switches over to impersonate a cop. All right. But anyway, let me play this short clip for you. And again, the full clips are at Scam Sandwich's YouTube channel. Go check it out if you want to see the full clip where he confronts the guy. And by the way, the victim you're about to hear, she didn't lose any money. He was even able to reach her and warn her not to fall, that she was being targeted. So everybody in this situation turned out okay, except the scammer, because now he's revealed to the world. All right. But anyway, let me play this clip for you. And this is how a grandparent scam works. All right. So let's watch. And let me know what you think. I want to hear your comments.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2B.
Now, I'm gonna read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscated her cell phone for legal evidence, so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.
The next. So that's an actual clip of one of these grandparent scammers, and it was recorded through his webcam, right? And you can see how the scam works. He calls up the victim. He actually impersonates a loved one. For about 20 seconds, he impersonates a loved one. But it's just very distressed, and really, it could sound like anybody's loved one. Mom, I'm in trouble, right? And I'm not sure if you noticed, but in the clip, I'm going to play it for you, right? At the beginning of the clip, when he does the impression of the loved one, where he's like, Mom, I'm in trouble. The victim replies back, Linda, is that you? So she actually gave away her daughter's name without realizing it, right? So here, I'll just play it real quick for you one more time.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Right? See, so as soon as she gave away the the kid's name, and the scammer right away, yeah, it's me, Linda. And watch, he immediately switches to the police officer after that, because now it's already confirmed. The second that it's confirmed in the victim's mind, he immediately switches. Okay, good. Immediately switches to be a cop. Watch, right? Because she goes, yeah, it's me, Linda. Watch what happens after.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Right, that's it. Once he has a victim commits, like, oh, is it daughter? Oh, I'm gonna put your officer on. Right? So I can see how somebody could fall for this. Right, I can understand how someone could fall for this, especially if they get, they're easily worked up, and you're worried about your family member. You're worried someone you love is in jail, and the story that he tells, right? It's a terrible story, right? So, anyway, it's a really good example of how people could fall for these grandparent scams. And again, the way that these scams work too is, so he's an opener. He's the one who opens a scam, but now he hands it off to his partners, right? These other scammers. And what they're going to do is they're going to call her back and they're going to be like, okay, we're with the police department. You have to pay this much, right? And then they're going to call back again and say, okay, we're the defense attorneys. You have to pay this much. And they're going to call back again and say, okay, we're with court personnel. You have to pay this much. And, they might not even call, but they might just keep on transfer. She might not even have a break in between them, right? So the whole time they're just draining her of funds, everything she's got, So be aware of this one. Make sure that your loved ones are aware of this one. It's, these people, they do it for a living, right? They know what they're doing. They're doing it in teams. They have scripts to read. And, some of these people, they're forced into these scams too. Some of these people, they don't even want to scam, but they're going to get beaten if they don't, scam somebody. So it's just crazy out there. So anyway, grandparent scams, be aware of them. Make sure your loved ones are aware of them. It's one of, it's a pretty heinous scam in my opinion. It's one of my ones I hate the most, because just scamming the most vulnerable older folks out there and taking everything. It's like, and those older folks, a lot of them may never recover. Like, what do they got to do? Work for another? You can't go back to work and re-get everything you spent decades saving. The scammers don't care. They'll take it all. Anyway, that's why we do this. That's why we try to spread awareness. So hit that like button, subscribe, and follow. So next scam we're going to talk about here. Fake order scams. Let me get the slides up here. All right, so this next scam we're going to talk about. And by the way, if you're just joining, make sure I say hi in the chat, in the comments. Let me know you're watching. Hit that like button. Follow, subscribe. Help us spread awareness about these scams. You join our free mailing list too on scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. It's free to join. We'll send you reminders about our live streams. So next scam we're going to talk about here is fake order scams. And this is one that, again, you got to keep your guard up. We're being targeted from all directions. Phone calls, emails, text messages. This is the type of scam that, everywhere you look, we're being targeted, whether you realize it or not. These fake PayPal emails that you get saying there was a PayPal charge, that's a fake order scam, right? The ones that you get that say the Geek Squad emails that say your annual Geek Squad payment for $200 is being processed. Those fake McAfee ones saying your McAfee antivirus is expired and renewing, right? Those are some common ones that are circulating right now. But the whole idea of those is they're fake order notifications, and the idea is they want you to try and dispute them, right? They're not real. You weren't really charged that, but they want you to call a number and dispute those orders. That's how the scam works. Victims receive a fake notification that an order was made under their account. When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, a scammer impersonates customer support and attempts to steal their personal and financial information. And it's putting it lightly by saying steal their personal and financial information. They want to actually steal the money. Cross out the word information and replace it with they actually want to steal their funds around the spot. But this one's important. Again, you're being targeted from all around, and that's why we're going to spend a little time on some of these examples of this one here. Because in this type of scam, they can impersonate any vendor. They could claim any item was purchased, right? It could be anything. So, and we know there's many different versions of this scam floating around, because it could be any type of notification claiming any type of payment was made, right? And the idea is just to get you to call a number to dispute it. Well, I didn't purchase that. You know, and they call and dispute it. But you get connected to a scammer. That's how it works. Elizabeth says she had a friend that got a call from the jail, an automated call from the correction facility. A scam phone call or like a warning phone call from the correction facility? Because there's definitely scams that are targeting the parents and relatives of inmates too, which is interesting. They're targeting them and saying that and the recorded voice was her dad saying his name sounded just like him. She immediately hung up and called his cell phone and he answered. Wow. Yep. And that's what anything fishy like that claims to be from a relative or involving a relative, you got to hang up and call. That's why in that example that we just played, the grandparent scam, one of the things that the scammer says is, I've confiscated her phone and I confiscated her phone, so don't try to call it. Right, but that's all part of scam because they want to subliminally make a person think like, don't even bother calling because I have a phone. Right, but yeah, interesting. What's interesting, he said it sounded like just like her dad too. So yeah, they could be cloning a specific voice if she was targeted specifically, or they just use a very common sounding, male's voice too. That could be, they add a little distortion over it, and it could be anybody's dad. Right, just like that example I played right now where he impersonates the daughter. Right? Look, that could have been anybody's daughter. It could have been anybody. He's just impersonating somebody that's crying. Because when somebody's in distress and crying, it could be anybody. You could pass as anybody's daughter. So, but anyway. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, but in this example, these fake order notifications here. So here's a text message version, right? And this example, it was actually shared. I received it, and multiple other people reported this exact example to me. But impersonates Apple. You get this text message. It says that $143 charge went through your Apple prepay authorization, and then it says call this number to dispute the charge, right? But if you call a number, it's a scam. It actually connects you to scammers, and they're going to try to scam you. They'll impersonate Apple, right? But the idea is, you get this message. There was no charge. It's not real. But the idea is you get this notification, and you're thinking, I didn't do this charge, and they're trying to get you to call that number. Right. So that's the text message version of a scam. That was an Apple. They impersonate Apple, but again, it could be anybody. They could impersonate any vendor. That's why these fake order scams are so dangerous, right? Because they could swap the name of any vendor in there. They could say any item was purchased, any type of charge happened. It's so flexible, right? That, they don't have to even use the same vendor twice while they're targeting different people. It gets dangerous, right? So it's important to be aware of the concept behind these fake order scams, right? Any type of notification you get, text message, email, phone call, right? You have to be suspicious. I'm not saying ignore it, right? But you have to go confirm through official channels if you think it could be legit, right? You can't trust phone numbers. You can't trust links. In the case of that Apple text message, instead of calling the number or clicking the link, go check your Apple app, right? Go check directly through a source. Don't trust links. Don't call phone numbers. You would go check directly through the official channels. But the big thing is to understand not to trust those numbers, not to trust those links that come in through these notifications. Because the whole point of this scam is to get you to call that number or to click that link, right? So I showed you a text message version of this. But there's actually many phone call versions of this. Lots of robocalls going around with these fake order scams. I have a few examples of these robocalls to play for you here. The first one, they impersonate Amazon, and they claim a MacBook Pro was purchased under an account. And then they try to get you to press 1 to be connected to a scammer, right? So let me play this recording for you. And let me know if you actually received a call like this. We included this, by the way, we have a fake order scam video up, right? And it has all these examples in that video. And quite a few people left comments on that video confirming, they got the exact same calls that we're going to play you right now. And these were recent comments, confirming these calls are still circulating. So it's important to be aware of them. But let's listen to the first example, a fake order scam phone call.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
Right, so there's that one example. It's kind of robotic. You could at least tell it's a robocall, right? But But if you press 1, it's going to connect it to a scammer. Right? And the idea is it wants to scare you. It said that a MacBook Pro was purchased for $1,400 or $1,499, right? So like you get a call like that, you think you're getting charged $1,500. A lot of people are going to be like, what? And just immediately press 1. I'm $1,500, boop. And they're not even going to think, wait a minute, this could be a scam. All right. Well, now you're on the phone with a scammer, and they'll impersonate, Amazon, right? But they're going to tell you your identity's been stolen, your money's not safe, or let me connect your device and check notification. They're going to try to get into your bank accounts and your money. All right, let's listen to the second example we have here, a fake order scam phone call. And again, this one's circulating too. They impersonate Walmart, and it claims a PlayStation was purchased. I think, what is it, $400, $500 more? I don't know. I'll see how much they say it is in here. But watch out for this call too. There's a fake order scam phone call.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
Yeah, so it was $800. That was like 50% off. But yeah, so you get this phone call. It says, hey, we're calling from Walmart. It says you just spent $800 on a PlayStation. If this wasn't you, press 1 or call back number. All right. Which, by the way, if you get a phone call or recording that says call back number, it's a red flag. I mentioned that earlier on the example, right? If they don't even leave a real phone number to call, if it just says call back number, it's a big red flag. It's a scam, all right? But again, this recording is an example of you get this phone call, they impersonate Walmart. It says that there's an $800 charge in your account. Oh, it wasn't you. Press 1, right? But you can connect to a scammer. It's not really Walmart calling. It's not really Walmart. It's not really Amazon. It's a scam, right? And what you do is, if you're concerned, you think it's real. What you do is you hang up, right, and check through official channels, right? The Amazon one, you go check your Amazon account, and the Walmart one, what you do is you check your credit card or whatever, whatever could possibly be charged to, right? If you reach out to Walmart, I wonder what would happen if you reach out to Walmart. They'd probably just tell you it sounds like a scam or whatever. Even if you tried calling Walmart, they'd probably tell you this is a scam. All right. So, but look, it's important to be aware of these types of phone calls that are circulating. You can't trust pressing 1 because you'll get connected to a scammer. You can't trust the phone numbers that they tell you to call back. You can't trust the links that they tell you to click, right? You have to go through official channels. And in most of these examples, it's obvious who the official channel is. The Apple impersonation one, you check your Apple app, right? The Amazon impersonation one, check your Amazon account, right? The Walmart one, if you have a Walmart account, I don't know if that's a thing. If you have one, you can check that or call Walmart or check your credit cards. But you don't want to engage with these types of calls, especially one that doesn't even leave a real number to call back, right? Anyway, fake order scams. Like I said, they're targeting you through text message, targeting you through phone calls, right? I shared examples of all those with you. But also, they're targeting you through email as well. And regarding that, we have a victim's story to share here. About a year old, August 2024. I'll get some more updated ones to share. It's starting, these victim stories are about a year old, but look, the stories are the same stories you read today, right? The scammers, they're doing a lot of the same stuff, and it's just as important a year ago to be aware of what was happening as it is now. So, look, this victim's story regarding a fake order scam, fake order notification. 23-year-old Lincoln woman, right? 23-year-old, again, mentions not just the seniors, right? These younger folks are getting scammed more than the seniors. They're just not losing as much as seniors. But a 23-year-old Lincoln woman reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to identity fraud scam in July. The scam began on July 17th with an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone, right? So there's the fake order notification. She got the email. It said you purchased an iPhone. The woman called the number provided to dispute the purchase, right? The email includes a number to call. She thinks she's calling Apple, probably, right? She doesn't realize she's calling a scammer, right? So that's how these fake order notifications work. They trick you into calling a scammer. You think you're talking to customer support about an order, but you're actually interacting with a scammer who's going to do everything he can to get your money. And what's interesting about this article is, so from that point, the scam could vary, but in her case, this is what happened after she was tricked into calling these this fake customer support number, right? So she was informed someone's using her identity, right? And then the scammers connected the woman to a person posing as a CIA agent. See, again, working in teams, like I said, or hey, it could have been the same person impersonating a CIA agent. And they instructed her to withdraw $3,600 from her bank account. The next day, she was directed to use the money to purchase Walmart gift cards and send photos and receipts. Additionally, the woman sent another $500 gift card to the scammers. Right? So, look, gift cards, red flag. Big red flag. Well, we went over this earlier in the live stream. We talked about red flags. We mentioned it in our 5 red flags video on our YouTube channel. So if you missed that portion of the live stream, go check out the 5 red flags video we have on our YouTube channel because it mentions this. Any mention of gift cards has to be a red flag. Right? This one where they just flat out tell you to withdraw your money and purchase gift cards, very common, and it's a red flag. But there's other clever things and ways that scammers get you to purchase gift cards too. We mentioned about a promotion scam earlier where they trick you into purchasing a gift card, right? It's just one of those red flags. When you hear gift card, they're telling you to purchase like a retail gift card, a Walmart gift card, Apple gift card, Target gift card, red flags, right? Because we know that scammers like getting paid that way because once you send them those gift cards, right, the funds are getting withdrawn and you're never going to be able to recover those funds, right? They're getting withdrawn immediately. And you can't do anything to recover them. Right? But anyway, fake order scams. Be aware of them. Showed you the story about the email version. Shared examples of the phone calls and the text message versions. Right? Very common. We did a video about this one. Share it with loved ones. And don't fall for this one. You know? Hey, Nigella, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Out there on the West Coast. And everybody else is just joining. Welcome, welcome. Everybody else joining from the West Coast. Always good to see you. Better late than never, people. But look, it is scam season, and it's more important than ever to be aware of these scams right now. We went over a lot of scams that pick up during the holidays. Man, we still have a few more that we're going to go over right now, too. And we're just going to go over 3 more scams here. And you know what? So as part of this live stream, what we do is we discuss over 20 different types of scams. Right? That's just part built into the agenda here to have the screenshots for, the examples for. Right? We go over at least 20 different types of scams. And right now we have 3 more left. So I think we were over 17 or 18 so far. We'll get the final count when we're done here. But we got 3 more left. We're going to go over some snail mail scams. Right? But then after that, even though those are all the 20 scams that we cover, we're going to spend a little bit more time. The live stream is not over yet. We actually still have some more good stuff coming up. And it's actually my favorite part of the live stream is we're going to check out the AARP scam tracker map. Right? And that's going to tell us what scams are being reported in real time over the past few days. And it'll give us an idea if the scams we discussed are still circulating or if there's newer ones to be aware of as well. Right? So definitely stay tuned. Even though we only have 3 more official scams that we're covering here, we're going to check out the scam tracker map after that. And that's got the good stuff. We get to actually see reports from people and what they're saying. So, yeah, Nigel, I see Pleasant Green had that video about, the extortion. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't want to, I would like to cover some of those, but I can't, I won't on YouTube. I'm sure my luck, I would get banned by YouTube if I covered it. I won't even say the word that you put in the chat just to be safe, because with my luck, YouTube will ban me. I don't think that's right. I should be able to. And, Pleasant Green gets away with it. But I'm just saying with my luck, YouTube's AI would pull me out of the bunch and end up banning me. So that actually happened on Facebook a couple of weeks ago. I can't put Facebook ads anymore. No idea why. During the live stream 3 weeks ago, just like the live stream I'm doing now, right? For some reason, it blocked the ad I placed to try to get the word out there about the live stream. It blocked the ad I placed because their AI detected the examples I was sharing on a live stream. I'm assuming this is what happened. The AI detected the examples I'm sharing as, oh, this is actually a scam going out. And the AI, it blocked my ad account over on Facebook. And then when I go to review it, their AI does the review. So 3 seconds later, it's like, oh, you still failed. So I can't even get a real person on Facebook just to get my ad account enabled back on there. So anyway, the whole reason I went into that is that, like I was saying, my luck, YouTube's AI would detect me and block me over here too. I'm sure Pleasant Green can get away with it. I'll tell you what, when I have millions of subscribers, I'll probably, I'll risk it. But until I got millions of subscribers, I'm not going to risk it. But yeah, his videos on that are great though. And it's an important topic to get out there. It's a big problem, right? Whether it's blackmail, a lot of this awareness too about not letting people get onto your device, right? Being able to recognize that you're dealing with a scammer and spotting it first. Really, the goal is to recognize these scams before it even gets to the point where they can extort you, right? You want to recognize it before you let them on your device. You want to recognize the red flag is like, oh, the stranger's asking me to talk on WhatsApp. That's a little bit of a red flag. That's a red flag we go over, right? So, yeah, Pleasant Green's awesome. Love his videos. He's been around for years. And I'm glad he's covering that topic. It's just, unfortunately, I'm worried I'll get banned if I cover it. So maybe check back with me after a few million views and I'll start covering some of that a little bit more. But yeah, Pleasant Green. And by the way, anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about when we say Pleasant Green, there's another YouTuber out there, Scam Baiter, does some great videos about these scams. It really dives deep into them. It's Pleasant Green. So go follow him too. Right? Shout out Pleasant Green over there on YouTube, just like shout out to Scam Sandwich over on YouTube. I tell you, they're called Scam Baiters, right? And what they do, they're calling up the scammers and they're pretending that they're a victim, and they're, what they're learning, it's priceless, right? What they're learning about the tactics that these scammers are using and how they're documenting it and doing videos and sharing it with the world, it reveals a lot of stuff that I'm using as my more instructional type videos and educational type videos. It's great because a lot of the stuff that they've discovered, we're able to, as the educational community, we're able to take that and help spread, more awareness about, what they were able to discover when they do their scam baiting, right? So, but yeah, check them out. They're good. Pleasant Green, Scam Sandwich, all good stuff. All right. Well, let's go over these last three types of scams that we definitely want to cover. And then we're going to dive into Scam Tracker Map, which is fun. So, snail mail scams. What the heck am I talking about? Snail mail scams. All right. Traditional postal mail, right? Old-fashioned, traditional postal service mail. Yes, scammers are still using it. They never stopped, right? What do you think they did before the internet? And a lot of these scams they use nowadays, they're based on these old snail mail scams, right? So they're still out there. They're still using the traditional postal service. And because of QR codes, a lot of those original scams, now they slapped QR codes onto these letters. They make it a lot easier for people to get, directed to one of these fake websites from a letter that they sent. And there's a few examples of these I want to definitely share with you. And I already shared this first example when we were talking about QR code scams, but it is worth mentioning again as a snail mail scam. It's a postcard, right? Arrives in your mailbox, offering you a free gift. Right? Be suspicious. Right? Just because you arrived it directly at your home address doesn't mean you could trust it. And this example of a postcard here offering you those wireless Bluetooth earbuds, whether it's got the QR code or not, if it's too good to be true, be suspicious. If you scan this code, you're gonna be taking the fake website that tries to steal your personal details. So be aware of this one. It's just a reminder and example of these snail mail scams. They're being targeted offline, online as well as offline, right? But this next example I'm going to share with you is an inheritance snail mail scam. Hey, yeah, I remember. Welcome back. The I don't know girl. Yep, welcome back. You were here a couple hours ago. My memory's not that bad. Welcome back to the live stream. My memory's getting there, but because if it was yesterday, maybe I won't remember, but I can still remember a couple hours ago. Well, welcome back. Glad you're here. Good to see you. We're going over some snail mail scams right now because they're still targeting us in mail, right? And these inheritance scams. I have an actual letter that's been circulating to share with you, right? And how these inheritance scams work is victims are contacted with claims of a large inheritance from an unknown relative. But to claim it, they must pay fees or provide personal details, right? These scams exploit curiosity and greed to steal money and identity information. All right, but let me talk a little bit more about this, right? So here's an example of one of these scam letters you get. And the thing about these inheritance scams, whether it's a letter you receive in the mail or the email version, there's plenty of digital versions of this scam too. But if you get a letter like this, how they usually work is, for example, this one says that you're entitled to $10.8 million inheritance, right? It says that their client who shares the same last name as you, which, by the way, the last name they use does match whoever the letter was sent to. See where it says dear and then I have it blurred out, right? And then it has the supposed deceased relative right here. I have their name, but it matched the last names. So the scammers that are sending out this letter, they are taking the time to pay attention to that detail. Every letter that goes out, they make sure that whoever it's addressed to, it matches the name of the supposed dead relative, right? So just that little attention to detail makes it that much more believable when it's 100% a scam. Fake letterhead, it has a fake law office up here, a fake logo for law office. This example is from November 29th last year, right? But again, we've seen recent reports of this over on the ARP scam tracker map. So even though this example is from last year, we know that the same letter is still circulating as recent as the past couple weeks. All right. And just to give you an example, just to kind of show you what this letter says here. Again, this is an example of a letter that arrives right in your mailbox. All right. It's basically the person claims they're from a law office. Their client passed away about 4 years ago due to COVID. Right? They share the same last name as you, Dr. Maria, and then the same last name as you, whoever the letter's addressed to. Right? And they say that there's a $10.8 million inheritance left, and since you're the only person they found sharing that last name with them, you're entitled to it. Right? And they say that their law office, they'll handle it all for you. They'll process it on your behalf. Right? They say it's 100% risk-free. And towards the end, they mentioned this claim requires a high level of confidentiality, and it may take up to 30 business days. Right? So remember I mentioned earlier about the red flag asking for secrecy and confidentiality? This is an example of that inheritance letter that I told you I was going to show you a little later on in the live stream here. Right? The last thing they close out with is asking for confidentiality. Who are they to tell you whether or not to tell somebody about inheritance? Right? That's up to you. Right? But that's the red flag, among a too good to be true, offer. So yeah, this is an example of an actual letter that's going out, and you get these emails right away. You're quick to discard them. I think a lot of people are quick to recognize you get a random email like this is a scam, but you get a letter like this. Suddenly, people may feel it has legitimacy to it, and you really shouldn't feel that way, because scammers will target you in every way they can, including traditional mail like this. So you still have to do your due diligence. You still have to confirm and verify, right? Just letters that you get. In this case, I'll tell you what, this example, you just Google a couple sentences. Type in a couple sentences from this letter into Google, and you'll find other people reported receiving the same letter. Right? If you Google a law office and then you just take a couple minutes just Googling anything this letter says, and you see people reporting the exact same letter, receiving the exact same letter, right? So it's important to be aware of this scam and how it works, right? Let's say you did start interacting with this person and the scammer. How it works is they say, you're entitled to $10.8 million, right? And a lot of times what to do is say, but you have to pay fees and taxes first, right? Or you have to open a bank account, right, and provide us the details, right? And they might use that bank account for fraud. But in most cases, these sweepstakes scams or these inheritance scams, a lot of times they say, sure, to claim your $10.8 million, you just have to pay, $1 million in fees and taxes first, right? You pay that $1 million, $1 million's a lot, but you figure out, I'm going to get $10 million, you pay $1 million, well, then they disappear and there was no inheritance, right? So you got scammed. So a lot of times that's how these sweepstakes and these fake inheritance scams work. But anyway, this is a real snail mail version, a real letter, still circulating probably to this day. I know it was a couple weeks ago we saw reports of it. So be aware of this type of scam, inheritance scam. Whether you receive it as a letter delivered to your house or the email version, like we said. Whereas one version of a scam, there's probably another version. Whether it's email, then it's probably a text. If it's a text, there's probably an email. If there's an email, it's probably a letter. If there's a letter, it's probably an email. Right? So always gotta have your guard up no matter what. And top it off, somebody could just call you and say, hey, I'm calling from this law office and you're entitled to an inheritance, right? You always have to have your guard up. Email, text message, phone. Don't fall for it. So anyway, that's an inheritance scam. It's a snail mail version of an inheritance scam. Watch out for it. Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. Wow, we just rounded 3 hours and 15 minutes. Cool. This is one of those longer live streams. I usually try to go at least 3 hours, this one's going good. We still got some more good stuff coming. We'll probably go for another 30 minutes or so. So if you're still here, let me know in the chat. Give us a like. Hit that thumbs up. We got one more scam that we're going to talk about as part of the agenda before we jump onto the scam tracker map here. This one's an interesting one. This is an interesting snail mail scam. We did a video about this one too, where we go into it in more detail, so definitely check out the video. But this is called, the official name of this scam is a secret survey check scam. But really what it is a mystery shopper scam, right? And it's a snail mail scam. You get a letter in the mail, right? And what's interesting about this scam is the letter, it impersonates Walgreens and CVS, at least in this version of the scam, right? But also included with the letter in the envelope is a check. Right? So you receive this letter in the mail. It says, congratulations, you've been selected as a secret survey shopper, mystery shopper, right? And enclosed is a check for $2,480, right? $2,480, right? So you're thinking, wow, I got a check in hand. I've been selected as a secret shopper, right? And you read the letter here. And how this works is it says, congratulations, here's your first secret survey assignment. Right. It says enclosed is a $2,480 check is enclosed to cover the shopping and your commission, right? And your commission is $450. So basically what they say is you're supposed to deposit the check, right? Which again, it's a fake check, so don't get excited. But the idea is you're supposed to deposit the check, right? And then the letter instructs you to purchase $2,000 worth of gift cards. Right? And you keep the extra $480. You keep it as your commission. Right? And it says to spend $2,000. It says go and purchase 4 $500 gift cards. Right? $2,000. Right? And it instructs you how to provide, take pictures, email the gift cards. Right? And then there you go. You keep your $480 commission. Right? You already got the check in hand. Right? It instructs you to go and deposit the check first before you do anything. All right? It sounds too good to be true. Wow, great. Right? Well, this is a check scam. It's a check and a gift card scam, which is a example of another way where anytime you hear gift cards, you have to be, it's a red flag, right? Because there's all these clever scams, but the gift cards, right? It has to be a red flag. And in this case, how the scam works is you go, right? You deposit your check. You think everything's fine. You deposit the check. It says within 24 hours, go purchase the gift cards, right? So you deposit the check. You purchase the $2,000 of gift cards, right? You send it over to the scammer, and boom, easy peasy. You figure, I made $480, right? But what happens is 2 days later, your bank notifies you, the check was bad. It actually bounced. That $2,400 of funds, we just reversed it. It's gone from your account now, all right? Well, guess what? You already purchased those gift cards. You already sent them to the scammer. Scammer already took the $2,000 of funds off those gift cards, right? And now you just got stuck getting $2,000 taken out of your bank account. $2,400 actually, $2,480 taken out of your bank account because that entire check was fake. It bounced, and you're out of that $200 that you just spent on gift cards sent to a scammer. It's pretty. And on top of that, just to add insult to injury, your bank hits you with a fee for depositing a bad check. So enjoy that fee too, right? So a pretty clever scam, but it's a snail mail scam, and it includes a check in the envelope, right? And look, there's different variations of this one going around. Here's a second example, right? It's a letter, same idea, impersonates Walgreens, CVS, right? Very similar, same instructions. This check in this example was for $1,987, and it instructed the victim to go purchase 3 gift cards, right? But it's the same scam. Yeah. What's interesting about these two examples too, right? So in the first example here, the scammer instructs the victim. He instructs them to purchase Apple gift cards or Razer Gold gift cards or Nike gift cards or Steam Wallet gift cards, right? So the scammer wants those types of gift cards, right? So that's what they instruct the victim to go and purchase, right? But in the second example of this scam, this scammer only wants Apple gift cards, right? And instructs the victim, go and purchase Apple gift cards. All right, so I guess these scammers have their preferences, which gift cards they want. But at the end of the day, when you're being asked to go purchase any of these gift cards by a stranger or an agency or the bank, you have to be suspicious. All right. So look, we did a video about this secret survey check scam. It's a pretty good video. Check it out. We go into more details about that. But look, some key takeaways regarding this scam and these snail mail scams. All right. Scammers still use the Postal Service to target individuals with snail mail scams. Just because you receive a letter in the mail doesn't mean it can be trusted. All right. You still have to do your verification and confirm things. Don't trust unsolicited letters that include a check in the envelope. Even if a check appears legitimate, that doesn't mean you can trust it. Look, and if you're going to risk it and deposit it, right, expect it to bounce and get a fee, but at least wait for it to clear before using any funds, right? At least confirm with your bank that it clears, which will take a couple days. But look, if you got a check out of the blue, though, I mean, come on, it's not going to clear. Come on, this could be a scam. Any request to purchase gift cards should be considered a red flag. Right? We mentioned that a bunch on this live stream. We mentioned it in our red flag video. Right? Just these scammers are always thinking of creative new ways to get you to purchase a gift card. Whether it was that fake promotional offer where they're impersonating Comcast and telling you if you pay with a Target gift card, you get a promotional discount, right? Or these secret survey check scams where it's like you're a mystery shopper, purchase gift cards, right? Or if it's just straight up you need to withdraw money from your account and secure it by purchasing gift cards. Or a government impersonation where it's, oh, you owe taxes, withdraw money and pay with gift card. Anything mentioned gift cards has to be a red flag, right? We know scammers love them, right? So, and then finally, receiving a job offer without applying is a red flag. It's kind of strange that you would just out of the blue, suddenly it's like you've been selected as a secret shopper, right? You didn't apply to be a secret shopper. So it's just these offers that come out of nowhere, and job offers. We didn't really talk about that type of scam, but these text messages that come from unknown numbers that saying, hey, you have a job offer available and I'm a recruiter. It's all red flags. It's all suspicious. All right. So be aware of that. Very common scams that are circulating. And yeah, check out the video too on our YouTube channel. All right, so that's our mystery shopper scam. That's actually, let's see how many scams we talked about tonight. But we're not done yet, so don't go anywhere. We always close out this live stream with checking out the scam tracker map, which we got a good another probably 20, 30 minutes left. So keep sticking around, people. We're not done yet. But let's see how many scams we talked about this evening here on the live stream. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Not going to count the postcard because we did twice. So 20, 21. There we go. 21 scams. There you go, folks. So we just covered 21 scams so far this evening on the live stream, which is what we do typically every week. We cover these 20 scams. Look, these are some of the most common scams circulating, but there's even more that we didn't cover, right? We got job scams that are going around, and there's just so many scams out there. They're impossible to fit into one long live stream here. So that's why awareness is key. Stay on top of things, right? So there we go. We went over red flags. Right? Showed you multiple examples of those scams, right? So lots of information on this live stream for us. We try to get out there. I know it's kind of like drinking out of a fire hose, right? We hit you with a lot of info, but there's a lot of info to take in. So, but that's why we do this every week. Tune in again every week. Get your refresher. Follow us on social media. Join the mailing list. It's important to get these reminders and to stay current. And those are all ways that we try to help you stay current. So make sure to join our mailing list. Here on scamaware101.com. It's free to join. Right, send you reminders when we do these live streams. We let you know when new content's available. We're going to be having some warnings going out for the holidays. Just reminding everybody when you're traveling for the holidays, watch out for those fake road toll scams, fake traffic ticket scams. All right. And if you want to support our mission out here, if you want to help out financially too, if you're in the giving spirit, we'll gladly take your donations at scamaware101.com/donate. And we also have a link here, donate or support, at the bottom of our website. We also have memberships enabled on YouTube, super thanks enabled on YouTube if you want to throw us a few bucks that way through memberships. And don't forget about our merch store here. We have the link on our website, the gift shop and merch store, or it's on our YouTube channel, the YouTube store, where you get some merchandise like this sweet Scamaware 101 travel mug, coffee mug. All right, then we have some other cool scam awareness merch here, water bottles, different coffee mugs, mouse pads, stickers. Make great stocking stuffers and gifts for the holidays. So give that family member that falls for scams all the time. Give them some of these items. And help support our mission. Help support our mission to spread awareness, right? But hey, we get it. Times are tough. Don't expect you to, don't feel obligated. And we're happy to take a like, a subscribe, and subscribe, and follow. Right? It's starting to get late. So there's plenty of ways you can help spread awareness and get the word out there and help support what we're doing just by clicking like. But anyway, let's continue with the live stream here. 9:15 p.m. We've been going for 3.5 hours. We're probably going to go for probably another 30 minutes, maybe just under another 30 minutes. Let's see. But usually what we do is we like to wrap up these live streams by checking out AARP's Scam Tracker Map, which we have a tools and software page on our website here, scamaware101.com, and you can click Tools and Software, which, by the way, lots of useful links on this page. Definitely check these out later. But all the way at the bottom, we have the AARP Scam Tracking Map. And it's a great resource to see which scams are being reported, which scams are kind of becoming more popular and starting to circulate more. Sometimes the people reporting the scams, they give some additional details and new details or new things that are happening with the scam. All right, so here's the AARP Scam Tracker Map. And we can see that all the scams, the most recent one was listed November 18th, so 2 days old, right? So all these reports that we're going to take a look at are 2 days old. So definitely recent, definitely circulating, important to be aware of. Oh, boom, there we go. Look at this. Check scam. Been receiving this text about a Doge check. I called this, and it was an obvious call. John, I know you called it too. I remember you mentioned it. Dave, I think you might have mentioned it too when we were talking about these Doge, right? Here's somebody reporting. They were contacted. They got a text message about a Doge check, right? And we knew scammers pay attention to this stuff, right? So there you go. There's that prediction that we talked. It's an obvious prediction, but we mentioned it in our previous live streams and in the chat, and we're talking about that. And there you go. Now we got somebody reporting that type of scam about a Doge check. And as far as U.S. politics go, there was a recent mention about $2,000 checks possibly going out next year and this and that. Look, scammers are watching. So guess what? Here's my next prediction. You're going to start getting text messages about these $2,000 checks, right? So look out for that. Expect that. You're going to start getting these text messages now from scammers saying, we know it's just like another IRS scam. It'll just be like those IRS scams. You're entitled to a $2,000 refund from the government. Make sure to confirm your banking account information. Click here. But it's going to be a fake link. Don't fall for it. Just like any of these Doge check text messages. And again, if any of those are coming out and any refunds are coming out, you wouldn't be contacted through text message, right? But anyway, that was the first report. That was a real report just came in from somebody 2 days ago. There you go. Good one. I'd categorize that. It's the same thing as the IRS, Department of Revenue scam that we talked about earlier. Elizabeth says, I love what you do. This is super important, and I appreciate your time and knowledge there. Thank you for doing thanks so much, Elizabeth. Appreciate it. Always appreciate the kind words. Check out this next report here. Identity theft. Getting someone else's emails and asking for money from me. I told T-Mobile, but they have not did anything about it. It doesn't give enough details about that one, unfortunately. Let's do the next. Gift card scams and fraud. Let's see, gift card. I was on Pinterest and someone sent me a message. I responded. Let's see what this one says. This one sounds interesting. It looks like they gave some details too. I was on Pinterest and someone sent me a message. I responded. A very nice guy. He said, let's go to another site. There we go. Let's go to another site so we get acquainted. I bet the other site is going to be WhatsApp or Telegram, right? That goes back to those red flags. When these strangers start telling you to download an app, or whether it's WhatsApp, Telegram, or some other third-party app, it's a red flag. It's suspicious. There's no reason to, if this is a legit person, there's no reason to have to communicate that way. He said he would help me with setting up the account. I'm like, this is cool, so I agreed. This sounds right off the bat. This sounds like one of those Google Voice scams we talked about earlier. This went on for a year. All right, so this probably evolved into a lot more scam. It probably got scammed in many different ways. I believe this person, he said he would pay my credit card off, use my credit card to buy him gift cards. continue to do this. So this sounds like it's kind of a romance scam. I continue to do this, but then I noticed my credit card was now double the amount. Oh, here we go. I was lonely, divorced, and had medical issues. Right? See, look, this is what I'm talking about. These scammers, they don't care. They don't care if you're a veteran. They don't care if you're disabled. They don't care if you're divorced, lonely. Like, they want to take everything you got. And unfortunately, they took her credit card balances. What else? Purchasing gift cards, purchasing from Apple, 4 laptops, 3 watches. Oh man. He promised he would pay me back when he got to the States. Oh, so this was somebody I was supposed to have. You know, I don't judge this. Look, you might be hearing the story and be like, what, you know, how can somebody fall for that? But look, I can't judge these people. So it happens to so many people. It happens to so many people. These romance scams where you meet somebody. There's, I think it's on Netflix. Look, the Tinder swindler, right? Go watch that documentary. You know, it's the Tinder swindler. Tinder swindler? Yeah. Go watch that documentary, right? And this is a example of what happens in these romance scams. Hundreds of thousands of dollars these women get scammed out of. And also that woman who is featured in that documentary, there's actually a series now. I think there's like a 6-part series, which is kind of interesting too, where they track these scammers down. But anyway, yeah, romance scams. There's a report. Watch out. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't underestimate these romance scammers. It's interesting how she says she was on Pinterest and someone sent her a message. All right, so that's interesting. It's another example. They will use any way to reach you, whether it's on Pinterest or a dating website. You know, scammers will try any way that someone can reach you. They'll try to find a way to scam you through it. 3 phone calls. Here we go. Business imposter scam. 3 phone calls from a phone number identifying as Chase in Tampa. Well, if it's Chase, it sounds like a bank impersonation scam, which we talked about. Looking for my info to set up credit monitoring. Okay, so it sounds like somebody's impersonating their credit card and trying to trick them into enabling credit monitoring. Haven't really heard about that narrative yet, but I can see that. Let's see. Let's check out the next couple reports. So we'll check out maybe like next 5 reports, and we'll get this wrapped up. Still time to hit that like button. I receive approximately 15 calls a day. Most are promising money because I have Medicare. Food cards are okay. Right. So, by the way, you know, SNAP benefits and all that nonsense that was going on a couple months ago. Watch out for scams. Right. I'm sure they're probably still targeting people based on all that stuff that was going on 2 months ago. You know, scammers will call you up and they'll say something like they're, you know, I'm not just going to make up what they get. I'm sure we'll see if there's any reports. But, you know, just be aware of these scammers. Anything going on in the media, any politics, they keep their eye on that stuff and then they use it. This report. I receive approximately 15 calls a day. Most are promising money because I have Medicare. Food cards are a popular tease, loaded with $2,000 to $3,000 of free merchandise. But I've interacted with these various agencies with the same result each time. First, all right, good. This person gets a lot of details. And Medicare scams. Very important to be aware of those. Right? There's lots of these scammers. They call you up. They claim to be from Medicare, or they claim to be from insurance, or they claim to be from your doctor's office, and they'll tell you. A common narrative is, have you received your new Medicare card yet? Oh, no? Well, let's give me your Medicare number and let's confirm, you know, your address and your other personal details, right? But Medicare number, right? Once they have that information, now the scammer could go back and they could do all this Medicare fraud. They could file claims for equipment and then resell the equipment, or they could file claims for services that were never provided, and they could do it fraudulently because they have all your Medicare information and details. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting scam. You need to watch out for it. It's picking up a lot recently. And again, when there's mentions of changes happening to Medicare, right, that's when you start seeing an increase in Medicare scams. And again, what's going on with the U.S., right? If you're following anything, what was it, a couple weeks ago they were talking about Medicare, right? And scammers watch this stuff. Right? And don't take this as me getting political. I'm just saying, scammers watch what happens in the media. So when, no matter what the hot topic of the day is, whether it's Social Security, Medicare, SNAP and food benefits, right? Doge check refunds, tax refunds or stimulus, any kind of things that are being mentioned in the media, right? Scammers jump on it and they start sending out their scams and increasing them. All right? They don't care who's doing it, like which party's doing it. They don't care what side is doing what. But as soon as things like that get mentioned, they know to jump on it because people are confused. And it's a good time to take advantage of people. So anyway, right? And this person shared some good examples of that with the Medicare and the food cards. Oh, but actually, let's see what they said, though. So first, an operator screens for legibility by asking you personal details, right? Then you're transferred to a sales agent whose main job is to sell policies to the elderly. Now, I was never offered these free cash cards, not once. One so-called salesman hung up on me when I began to explain to him that I knew it was a scammer. Well, who knows? Sounds like a scam. Even if it wasn't, be aware that these types of scams are circulating right now. And look, the key word there is the advice is to verify, confirm and verify. Right? If you suspect something could be, hang up and actually reach out to Medicare directly, reach out to whoever they're claiming to be directly to confirm. You can't trust that incoming phone call. Again, even if the caller ID says that it's someone. Always remember, scammers can manipulate caller ID. And speaking of, there we go, perfect. Just as I said that, this next report here, I received a phone call from my credit union, which is loaded as a contact in my phone. Right? Well, that's right. It was a scammer, but they made the caller ID show the credit union. There you go. That's funny. It's as funny as I mentioned that. The next report, boom. I fell into this trap and gave my bank account number, an address, and changed my PIN. They said my account was free to use. Then I realized what happened and called the credit union and had my account closed. The next day, the credit union found several attempts to use my account, which were denied. All right, well, luckily that person realized in time. They realized right away what he had done and canceled the account or notified the credit union. But there you go. It's a great example, though, whether it's a credit union or bank. And this is one of the scams we talked about earlier, is these scammers, they'll call you up and they impersonate your bank, your credit card union. Your caller ID shows your bank and your credit card union's name on the caller ID. So you think, oh, this is my bank. I could trust it. Oh, it's strange that they're asking me to withdraw my money. And it's strange they're asking me to purchase gift cards. And it's strange they're asking me to send money with Zelle. But, I mean, the caller ID says it's my bank, so it must be my bank. No, it's not your bank. Scammers can manipulate caller ID. So be aware of that and don't fall for this scam. And this is a great report, just to confirm. Yeah. I'm not lying to you, folks. Holiday scams and fraud. Oh, good. Let's see which ones these are. We have a legit hotel reservation. The date and dollar amount look correct. Even the incoming phone number is correct. The hotel reservation system was hacked. Well, I mean, I don't know about that. The scammers can see all our info except the credit card number. But if the scammer texts from the hotel's number and gets you to enter the card number for them, now they have all your information. Well, yeah, that's a common thing. It's interesting how I'm just curious if she's making an assumption or not, or if she was notified they were hacked. So this brings up a couple things, right? So she says she has a legit hotel reservation, and then she was targeted with a scam that knew all her hotel information details. And she says that their system was hacked. Whether it was confirmed hacked or that's her suspicion, regardless, this happens all the time. Scammers know so much about you. They know too much about you. They know things that you have forgotten about yourself, right? Because they have breached third parties that you have used over the years. Major banks have been breached, right? So not like your money being stolen, but your details, your personal information, your account numbers, your address, your phone number, your contact details. Right? So that information gets stolen, right? And they get sold to scammers. And what happens is these scammers call you and they have details about you already. They know things about you and they use that information to convince you you're actually talking to it. So in this case, she says she had a legit hotel reservation. Hotel system got hacked and then she was targeted by scammers who knew all these things about her, right? And when they targeted her, they made sure to use the hotel's phone number on caller ID and impersonate people from the hotel, right? Because now the scammers know. They know that you used this service, right? They know that you had a reservation. They know these details about you, so they could say, your address, right? Your names, how much people the reservation might be for, right? And it can be very convincing. And when in her case, they asked her to, let's see, I guess you enter a credit card number. In this case, they sent her a text telling her to confirm her payment details, right? So these scammers, they know you have a reservation. They send you a text message. You need to confirm your payment details. Looks like it came from the hotel they made the purchase from, right? You click that link. You think you're confirming details for your hotel reservation. You actually just gave a scammer payment details. It's right. That's how that goes. Anyway, that's a great report. And you know what? That's a good, it's labeled holiday scams and fraud. So, hey, you're traveling for the holidays. You're going to be reserving hotel rooms, maybe, visiting family and friends out of state. Right? Be aware of this scam. If you suddenly get phone calls, never know, right? Debt-related scam. We're going to see if this was the last one to wrap up on here. Loan specialist contacted me. All right, let's see if the details are any good for this one. If there's a good one, we'll wrap up on this one. The loan specialist contacted me and asked how much I need to pay off my debt, and I told him $6,500. He said he needed my bank account was involved in. He said he needed to see if my bank account was involved in fraudulent activities before he gives me a loan. So he needed to access my account. All right. So this is a good example. This is an example of what might happen. I get these voicemails all the time. Let me know in the chat and in the comments if you get the same voicemails. But I get these voicemails all the time about being approved for loans. Emails too, all the time. You're approved for a loan. You're approved for a loan. And it's some crazy amount, which, not for nothing, I probably wouldn't get approved for this type of loan. Like, it's some crazy, amount, right? Which is all part of a scam. You want to think, wow, I get a loan for that much, right? It's all part of a scam. But in this case, what happens is then they ask, they need to review your bank account, check for fraudulent activity. So they get this personal details about you, whatever your story is. In this case, they say, check for fraudulent activity, right? But really what they're doing is they're just getting your personal details. They're stealing your bank account details. And if you have anything in there, they'll clear it out. This report says, long story short, he was scammed. Okay. He gave the bank's routing and account numbers, and the scammer took $1,550 from his bank account and purchased a gift card that he said I will get back. Wait a minute. I was scammed because I gave out my bank's routing and account numbers. Okay, so he did that, and then he took out... Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. So what the scammer did... Okay, he scammed the victim out of their routing and account numbers, right? And then he told the victim some narrative about purchasing a gift card, right? So the victim thinks he's talking to the bank or the loan guy. He says something about verifying it, purchasing a gift card. The story's a little shady. At the end of the day, it looks like the scammer got the guy's routing account numbers, purchased a bunch of gift cards. This way, if the guy even tried to get the money back or reversed, it was too late because he used the purchased gift card. You ain't getting the money back from that. The scammer. He put my account into negative. Right. He overdrew the guy's account, purchased gift cards, put it into negative. I wonder if he gave the guy a fake check. Sorry, this is the thing with reading these reports in real time. Sometimes you have to figure out what they're talking about. Right, so he told him to do the gift card thing. He'll get it back. He put my accounts into negative. Now I still have no $6,500 loan. My bank is in negative. These scammers target older people like me living just on a disability check. All right. It was a little hard to follow that, but at the end of the day, look, if somebody's offering you a loan, even if you apply for a loan with companies you're not necessarily familiar with, make sure who you're dealing with is legit. Do a little verification, confirmation. Be careful about providing your bank account details, because that's what went wrong with this. He provided his bank account details to this guy, and he used it to get gift cards, it looks like. Or he tricked the guy, or both. I can't tell if he hit his bank account and purchased gift cards, but both scenarios are bad, and both are important to be aware of. And he might have got hit twice, because these scammers don't stop with one. That's the thing. Very important to realize is once you get scammed once, or someone you love gets scammed, a lot of times they're added to a suckers list. They call it a suckers list, right? Because now, since they fell for a scam once, other scammers think that they're more likely to fall for more scams. So they get added to a suckers list. They get sold to other scammers. They get targeted with even more scams. Or if they scam you once, like in this case, maybe he scammed them out of his bank and routing details, and then piggybacked right off that with like, and now if you purchase gift cards, because the guy doesn't realize he's been scammed yet. So the scammer's like, oh, well, now I'm going to tell him to purchase gift cards. And then I'm going to tell him he's going to keep on going until the guy realizes he's being scammed. Anyway, interesting report. Watch out for those loans, those loan offers. Especially if it's like especially if you've been approved for an amount you kind of know you never get approved for. I always get these. I want to get approved for these types of loans that are offered me. Anyway. think that's a good one to wrap up on the, I mean, I could keep on going. I don't know. How we doing out there? Let me check the chats here. How we doing on YouTube? Say hello if you're still watching. Let me know if you want me to keep on going. I'll check another 5 reports if you're into it. I just don't know who's out there. So let me know if you're watching over on the YouTube channel still. Let me check Instagram and Facebook. We'll be live on there too. So if you're still watching over there, let me know in the comments, in the chat. It's looking kind of quiet. It's okay. All right. Well, you know what? We're about ready to hit 4 hours. So let's get this wrapped up. I'd say it's a pretty good live stream. All right, everybody. It's 9:35. We've been streaming since 5:45. So we're almost going to hit that 4-hour mark. We got through a lot on this live stream. It was a good live stream this evening. Thank you, everybody, for joining and participating. If you're still there listening and watching, I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody that participated in the chat. Hitting that like button, that follow button, that subscribe button. It really does help. Can't stress that enough. I got to get those subscribers up to get more exposure out there. Just trying to get the content out there. So like, follow, subscribe. Always helps. I appreciate you all. Make sure to join our free mailing list if you haven't yet. It's on scamaware101.com right here. And then you click join mailing list. Click join mailing list. It's free to join. We'll send you reminders when we're going live. Useful scam awareness tips. Be sure to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. We're most active on Facebook and YouTube. You know, if you got the other ones, hey, give us a like and follow on there too. But really, Facebook and YouTube, definitely follow, subscribe to us on there to stay up to date. If you appreciate our mission over here, you want to help support us financially, we'll take donations. Scamaware101.com/donate. Or you go to our website, the link's right here at the bottom too. Scamaware101.com. We also have super thanks and memberships enabled on YouTube as well. If you want to help out that way, we appreciate it. Also, don't forget to check out our merch shop and gift store. We have it over on our YouTube store, and we have the link on our website here. Get yourself some useful scam awareness merchandise. Great stocking stuffers, holiday gifts to give to that family member that always gets scammed. It's useful stuff to keep on their desk and in front of them. Mouse pads, water bottles, coffee mugs. Got some stickers available, so check it out. Help support what we're doing over here. Oh, and next week, you know, every week we do these live streams every Thursday, but next week, because of Thanksgiving, by the way, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, we're going to be doing it on Tuesday. So a couple days earlier next week. So our next live stream is going to be November 25th, which is Tuesday. And then back to our regular Thursday schedule, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure to tune in next Tuesday. And maybe we'll have some special Thanksgiving surprises in store for you on next week's live stream. And I think that's about it, everybody. Thank you so much again for attending the live stream. Appreciate you all. Like, follow, subscribe. And until next time, everybody stay safe. And now, bear with me while I get all these live streams shut down. I'll leave you with our theme song as we close out here. Have a great night, everybody.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scammer rituals. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, bet wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scammer World 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, leave you broke in despair. Stay woke, not equal, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send a bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears or sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate. warrant scam. Your grandson's in jail. Send the bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam. Police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.